All right, much love, respect, and appreciation. This is SEIJIHITO here to bring you the news. So I'm going to go over a few stories, article-wise, that I didn't do either in the live stream or in a video format. And also a happy, March 2nd to everybody. Happy Sunday. So one of the stories I found very interesting that I wanted to cover was the one dealing with the entire police force, right? So they said that an entire police force in Alabama was put on administrative leave this week after a grand jury indicted its chief and about half of its officers and recommended the small department to be abolished amid a rampant culture of corruption. All employees at the Huntsville Police Department were placed on leave as of 5 p.m. on Thursday. And local law enforcement duties have temporarily been taken over by Coleman County Sheriff's Office. Earlier this week, the county district attorney announced that the police chief, Jason Marlin, and four of his officers and one of their wives, wow, that's crazy, was indicted on corruption, tampering, and drug charges. A former dispatch supervisor, 49-year-old Christopher Michael Willingham, was found deceased at the department last summer with a fatal combination of illicit drugs in the systems. The death was a direct result, or deceasement was a direct result of the department officers' quote, negligence, lack of procedure, general incompetence, and disregard for human life. The grand jury tasked with reviewing the evidence unanimously recommended that the whole department be abolished and law enforcement duties transferred to another agency. It was found a rampant culture of corruption in the Huntsville Police Department, which was recently operated as more, well, recently operated as more of the criminal enterprise than a law enforcement agency. The department's evidence room was unsecure, and surveillance footage shows unauthorized people accessing it through a hole in the wall. Are you serious? Sounds like something from like some type of cartoon. So you got people going through a hole in the wall and using a broomstick to open the door from the inside. Evidence stored in the evidence room was what unusable in court, which was a failure to crime victims and the public. Quote, criminal evidence must be secure in order to have that evidence for prosecution and to ensure due process. The evidence room was anything but secure. These are the changes leveled in the indictment, Crocker stated. All are felonies except tampering with physical evidence with a Class A misdemeanor. Chief Marlin, 2 counts of failure to report an ethics crime and 1 count of tampering with physical evidence. Cody Allen Kelso, 2 counts of computer tampering and 1 count each of tampering with physical evidence, conspiracy to commit a controlled substance crime, and use of official office for personal gain. Kelso's wife, Donna Reed Kelso, was also charged with 2 counts of unlawful distribution of a controlled substance and 2 counts of conspiracy to unlawful distribution of a controlled substance. Jason Scott Wilbanks, 2 counts each of computerized tampering, solicitation to commit a controlled substance, and use of official office for personal gain. He also faces 1 count of tampering with physical evidence. William Andrew Shelner, 1 count of tampering with physical evidence. Eric Michael Kelso, 4 counts of unlawful distribution of a controlled substance and 2 counts of conspiracy to unlawfully distribute a controlled substance. Huntsville is a city about 3,200 that has about 3,200 residents, 43 miles north of Birmingham. Its police officers include just 9 officers, according to data from the International Associations of Chief of Police. Now, to me, this is very ridiculous. And again, I just want to note, got 9 officers. If I look at this, let me just blow this up very quickly. I don't see well, at least with the pictures here, I don't see anybody that's black. I'm just I'm just gonna put that directly out there. I don't happen to see anybody that's black. You have no DEIs in this lineup at all. But at the end of the day, you have people up here selling narcotics. You have people running through their own communities, going through whatever narcotics that they were able to get off the streets, redistributing those exact same narcotics to the streets. And then what's even worse is that one of the cops' wife was a part of the distribution. That's crazy. That's crazy. And it goes to show as well that you have a lot of people out here that continues to want to state that, oh, we got people that don't need to be police and all these DEI hires and yada yada yada. And for a lot of white Americans out there, just want to let y'all know on this great Sunday that you guys are some of the ones tearing up. I'm sorry, the main ones tearing up your own communities by way of the people that you vote and allow directly in office or to have a seat of power to rule over, control, or oversee you and your kids and your families. These are the people. Again, just gotta, put that up there. Yo, what is up to Sham, FBA, JO? What is up? Knockout C Terry and 10 Tom. You said don't forget that the 911 dispatcher deceased of and over. Oh yeah, that was listed. That was listed directly in the article. That was listed. Hey, shout out to C Terry for the great donor. I'm sorry that I can't actually showcase the sticker because I'm using StreamYard, so I can't actually show the sticker that you had up there, but much love, respect, and appreciation for always being a part of the channel, always supporting. Thank you for always being there. Josh Johnson said, if I said stuff about Black Americans like Tiffany Hayner, it's all good. What does it matter? I'm a little bit confused. Let me just get you real quick. So the main reason for me having a Black platform and reporting this is due to the fact of growing up and continuously. It doesn't matter what state it is. It doesn't matter how big, small, or medium the Black population is. Somehow, some way, Black people are just blamed for whatever crimes that go on. And if people actually look at a lot of the states in the United States, a lot of which don't have a high Black population, it's not really condensed like that. But even in those states where the Black population is, 0.01%, somehow, some way, you guys want to run stories talking about Black people doing crimes. What are we even talking about here? You can't even really possibly even talk about that state because Black people don't even make up any numbers realistically. You got probably a Native American or Asian or Hawaiian population that realistically has a higher amount than the Black population. Or multiracial, like some people like to say, multiracial, multicultural, right? But you're like, well, if I said something about Tiffany Hayner, why am I going to sit up there and care? Y'all do it all the time. Y'all do it all the time. This is what X is for, correct? This is what your fringe sites and groups online are for, correct? But because you have somebody that's vocally saying it, somebody that's Black American doing it, now you want to be, oh, you guys are playing the race. How would it look if I said something and I'm white? Go ahead. Y'all been doing this historically. But my main point, which seemingly goes directly over your head or lack thereof, is the fact that, hey, your own people are messing you up, screwing you over. For whatever reason, whenever we happen to highlight these things to show this directly to you, to cast this image, which you should be seeing because it's your reflection, you guys want to do this. Like, oh, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. However, we can play those games too. And again, you're going to play it directly into the grave because you're going to sit idly by because you don't want to be fixated. You don't want to focus in on the people that's actually disrupting your living habits. These people that I'm showcasing to you right now are literally tearing up your white communities, destroying your white homes, your families, your kids. And you want to sit up there and try to play some whole other type of game. Like, y'all stupid. Y'all 100% stupid. Y'all don't get it. You just do not get it at all. And the craziest part is this whole country could fall right now. It could literally collapse. It could fall. It could be Armageddon. Somehow, some way, you guys are going to make it from whatever cave or crevice and sit up there and try to blame Black people. Try to find somebody Black doing something. All held and set up there and broke loose. There's a fire streaming directly from the ground. Your main focus, let's sit up there and see what the Blacks are doing. They must be sitting up there stealing whatever is left. huh, they got to be still in the heat from the flames or something. That's y'all mentality, because you don't want to focus on how it is that you guys want to destroy everything. You guys got to make somebody else the focal point. That's crazy work. That is 100% crazy work. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. But like I said before, hey, y'all want to sit up there and get mad? Y'all don't want to sit up there and pay attention when these things just so happen to get highlighted? So be it. When your community sit up there and fall down, don't say that I didn't try to warn you. I didn't sit up there and say nothing. I didn't give you some little inkling, some little sign, some little symptom. Matter of fact, this is the exact same black guy who ended up having problems before because I wanted to highlight some things that were going on in your community. But so be it. So be it. Go ahead. If you want to talk about any Democratic leader that's black and that's in office, I don't care. That's not going to do anything to me, because like I said, you guys outnumber anybody that's black directly out here in office historically. So we can start there. We can how many trillions of dollars of debt are we at this moment in time? And you can't sit up there and blame that on the black Democrats running black cities. Yeah, they really put us short. No, you can't even do that. You got to be realistic. But I forgot, you don't live in reality. You just live in this makeshift, falsified story that you created and built for yourself, right? Yeah. Yo, what is up, Sham? What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up, Rabbit? What is going on? Guy, you can't handle the truth. Sham said, and now my sugar levels was low at 500 and it felt like I was dying. Went to the emergency again and it was so bad. Off. I was close to my organs shutting down. I had high amounts of chlorine and CO2 in my bloodstream. My blood had turned severely acidic. These doctors ain't, yo, you gotta make sure to really take care of yourself, man. You gotta really, really make sure to take care of yourself. That's the one thing I made sure to always tell a lot of you guys. You gotta make sure to, really take care of your health. If you got a lot of stuff directly in your system, it sounds like some things, of course, as you listed, weren't working properly to filter your blood, to keep a lot of, those impurities directly out so that they could get flushed out, one way or another, instead of them collecting directly in, the bloodstream. Man, I'm happy you're still here. Much love, respect and appreciation. But yeah, man, you gotta really, really take care, man. You said it was the doctor's fault. He made a mistake by giving me something he knew wasn't going to. You said that the doctor gave you something that he knew was going to raise your blood sugar. Oh, well, you got a lawsuit then. If you can happen to collect those records and showcase that on top of the fact that you just had this take place, might want to look for a lawyer. I tell you that, might want to look for a lawyer. I'm glad you're here though. Much love, much love. What was it? You said, yeah, no discussion. Cool. I don't even know what you're even talking about. Yeah, I would recommend you to sue. I would 100% recommend you to sue. 100%. 100%. The other one that I wanted to go directly over is this one right here. Right. Let me read a little bit of this one. That's the other story dealing with the military. They said, what is it? Omega Sci-Fi mourns the passing of Southern University student, and the cause has been determined. The family of Caleb Wilson and the Omega, Sci-Fi fraternity's international leader expressed thanks Friday to law enforcement for the continued probe of Southern University's students' deceasement this week. In a statement released by the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office on behalf of the family of Wilson, age 20, a former junior studying engineering, the family stated, quote, "We are committed to seeking the truth and the circumstances surrounding Khalib's passing and ensure that no other family has to endure such a tragedy. A day after the Southern University human jukebox trumpet player was found unresponsive in a Baton Rouge park, the Omega Psi International president issued a statement stating that members support Baton Rouge authorities in the police investigation of the deceasement. Wilson, a Keener native, passed Thursday morning at Baton Rouge Hospital after he was found in North Sherwood Forest Park. The full autopsy report for Wilson is not yet complete. Baton Rouge Coroner's Office Chief of Investigations Shane Tidell stated on Friday. The cause and the manner of Wilson's passing are undetermined. Southern University halted all club recruiting activities at the Baton Rouge campus late Thursday, including those related to Greek life. The indefinite suspension was due to Wilson's passing at the university. Omega Psi Phi, yeah, whichever. Fraternity International declined comment as of Friday. In a statement, Wilson's family stated, quote, "As we navigate this painful journey, we ask for continued prayer and respect for our privacy. We find comfort in knowing that Khalif's spirit lives on in memories we cherish and the love we hold for him." The president for the fraternity, Ricky L. Lewis, stated Friday its members are mourning Wilson's loss. Quote, "Khalid was more than a beloved son, grandson, brother, nephew, and cousin. He was a scholar, an exceptional member of the Southern University marching band, and a passionate and dedicated leader in student life." Southern LSU have checkered history on hazing. While there's no official confirmation on Wilson's cause or passing, it was related to or death, or if it was related to a fraternity ritual or hazing. Southern and LSU have had many high profile hazing cases going back decades. This is what I want to state. The craziest thing directly about this, and again, my condolences to the family and the friends of this young man. These are things that should not happen. I've stated time and time again that these, for me, the way that I look at, a lot of these fraternities, these are in a sense gangs. Because you have to go through some type of quote unquote ritual or some type of hazing initiation and in order to get in there. And it's just like all of these higher societies, right? Everything that you want in life, you have to go through a ritual, right? You got these presidencies, you got all of these other things dealing with the international life and so on and so on. And also being a celebrity. Right, there's a certain type of ritual which we've all heard of before, that people have to take, or different oaths, right, that people have to do, or certain humiliations that people have to go through in order to be a part of the group, right? There was one comedian that said that this whole thing is one big giant club, but you're just not invited, and that's why. Because all of these celebrities, all of these different personalities have to go through and do certain things in order to be a part of this group. Like I myself, there would be no way in the world that I would be, shoulder to shoulder, shaking hands with, any of those individuals out there. Why? Because I did not go through those necessary steps. Right. I didn't make those allegiances, alliances, or whatnot, or whatever. And the main thing that I always wonder is that for this young man's life, right? Him passing, him no longer being here. Who is going to profit directly from that? Because again, these are rituals. All of these things are sacrifices. All of these things go to something. So that's my one main question. Who's going to profit? Who's going to be the one that's going to be able to move directly up? Because this young man is no longer here. And I've stated, and so many others have stated before that things like this need to not happen. Black people need not to take part. There's a variety of other ways to do things. This should not be one of them. Like, these are things that have played out since before he was even born, right? These are things that played out directly in movies where they would literally joke about these in like in 80s films and all this other type of stuff, where they would show all of this hazing and stuff, and some people would make it, and then they would just continue on with the movie, right? But they're showing you the reality, they're showing you the circumstances directly to the forefront, and people are like, well, that was them, it's not going to happen to me. And that's the scariest and the most horrible part about a lot of these stories. This young man is an example of what can happen, what will happen, what has happened. But you have a lot of people out here, they're like, well, that was him. That doesn't mean that it's going to happen to me. I'm different. I'm smarter. I'm better. I'm wiser. I'm this, I'm that. It's the craziest thing. It is the craziest thing. Like I said, a lot of these things need to just stop at the end of the day, because you got so many lives that are being ruined. You got so many kids that have been hospitalized. And I've covered stories just like this over the years. And yet we're still doing it. It's still happening. It's still continuing. And now his family has to bury him. This young man was going to school to be an engineer. Greatness, smart, genius. And now it was cut short. And then all that's going to happen is that, these fraternities or groups, they'll give out their condolences and they'll let a few months or whatever pass, and then they'll ramp it right back up again. Right? When they got to get brand new recruits and they got to do this and they got to do that. And it's going to be the exact same story. Just give it enough time. But like I said, my condolences to, his family. I'm so sorry that happened. I wish, things could have been different. It's crazy. It is crazy. But now we are going to get directly into the first video here, which I found to be fairly interesting. And I was not able to do a video directly on it because it actually slipped my mind. And also, I've been pretty much no life in Monster Hunter. So we're going to go directly into this first video.
Came out that Donald Trump is going to be signing an executive order making the United States official language as English. Love this. Let me tell you guys why. Okay. I also hope that in this executive order, he also makes companies stop requiring people to be bilingual, specifically Spanish, in order to be hired by their company. But this is a bigger issue that I see at play here, and I think that it's unfair and I don't like it. There are so many jobs that I was not able to qualify for based on me not being bilingual alone. Met all the other requirements, but because I'm not bilingual, I couldn't apply. Okay, so that's one thing that I dislike. The second thing is, let me tell you, I was working for a company, a healthcare company, won't say the name. At this company, we outsourced a language line for people who didn't speak English, right? So it was not a requirement to be bilingual in order to get hired for this company. Now, if you did speak Spanish, they did give you, I think a extra quarter or something like that, but for the most part, it was not a requirement to get hired because they outsourced a language line that spoke different languages from, Mandarin, Spanish, whatever, you name it. It was on that language line, right? So I remember so many Hispanic people calling in to this company that I was working for and refusing to speak English, even though they knew how to. Okay, let me tell you this one guy, he tripped me out. So of course, when they call in and they choose Spanish, right, and I pick up, I had this one guy tell me, why do you guys ask if we want Spanish, but then you have somebody who speaks English pick up? Like flexing their authority, right? Mad that why are you picking up? I asked for somebody Spanish speaking, so why are you picking up? And complaining about it to me in proper English, speaking just like me, mad, right? So then, of course, I'll offer them the language line because that's an option. Can't tell you how many people get upset because they don't want someone to translate for them, right? They don't want to speak with me and have to have a third party translate. They want to speak directly to the person. Now, for people who do not speak English at all, can't comprehend it, can't speak it, absolutely understand, right? Normally, those people don't have a problem with the language line. It's the ones who absolutely know how to speak and comprehend it and they mad, which is mind-boggling to me. I don't understand why, as an American citizen, you are requiring me to learn a language that is not the official language of the United States because these people came over here. So now in order for me to get that job, I have to speak Spanish, or Spanish speakers get paid more because they know how to speak a different language than I do. Why not make the people who are coming over here speak the language that's already here? Why are you forcing the American citizens to speak the language because there's a lot of them that are coming here? Why are you forcing American citizens to learn an outside language and then penalizing them if they don't know that language? And again, this is not a slight on the Hispanic community, but I do believe that it's unfair. No, in no other country, right? If you went to Mexico or Guatemala and their language is Spanish, they're not going to force you to speak English. You're going to have to learn whatever the language is of that land. Love this.
She's right. She's 100% right. She is 100% right. That's never made any, and only can something like this happen in America. Only can something, this would never, let me let y'all understand something. This would never happen in North Korea. North Korea would never be like, oh, you're Black American, you came directly over here, no problem. Everybody here knows Korean, you're all penalized because you don't know English. So unless you know English, we're going to sit up there and pay you less. If you do know English and you're here, guess what? You're going to get paid more. So you mean to tell me? Let me just get this straight. So anybody that is Hispanic, that is bilingual, they're just initially automatically going to get off the bat. They're getting paid more because they know how to speak Spanish because that is their language. So why wouldn't they, right? So they're automatically getting paid more. But then people who are American grew up, raised here, born and everything, right? You don't know how to speak Spanish, but you are able to apply for the job, and you have pretty much all the necessary. You got 99.9% of the qualifications, but you lose out on the job because you're not bilingual because you don't know how to speak Spanish. Excuse me. How does that even work? I can never go to anybody else's country and receive the treatment that other people are getting here. I could never get that. And the craziest part is English has been the unofficial language. It was basically unofficially official, right? Which means that we didn't have to put a stamp directly on the United States to say, hey, come here, speak English. We didn't have to do that, right? Because we were like, all right, it's no problem. You're going to immigrate here. You're going to come here. No problem. You can still, speak your language, but just know that as a country, everybody here roughly speaks, English, or some people like to say American, right? I don't got no problem with this. I'm just gonna be real. I do not have a problem with this at all. I do not. This is a change that is very much welcome, and I'm hoping that what is going to inevitably happen is that for a lot of the Black Americans that want to apply for jobs now, that they are now able to get those jobs. You can't sit up there and say, oh, we can't hire you because you're not bilingual. No. They still got the qualifications to pick up and answer a phone, because a lot of these people who are second or third gen from their parents, it doesn't matter if they're immigrant or not, they know how to speak English. Just like she told you. A lot of these people out here are bilingual. It's crazy to get arrogant and ignorant in English because you want somebody that speaks Spanish. Where are we at right now? This is when you got to start reminding people where are we at right now? Are we in Mexico, or are we in the United States? Are we in the United States, or are we in Mexico? I'm just a little bit confused. Like I said, I really feel that a lot of people just got to start flexing. People got to start letting people know this is what happens when you are way too nice to a multitudes of groups of individuals and people directly out here. They take that niceness, they take that kindness for weakness, and then they decide to, treat you a certain type of way. So like I said before, it's diabolical. Speaking of this, also on a part dealing with Trump, you guys, Zelenskyy, I brought you guys a video about earlier this morning, right, that I had posted, and it went over some things that Trump was stating they were having a back and forth, right? Him and Zelenskyy and Trump, right? And also JD Vance. So after that whole thing took place, right? Zelenskyy actually got on whatever news station it was. And he was like, well, if the United States is no longer going to support us, then we're going to ask for Europe to support us. About I think he said, like, what was it, like 200, and did he say 250 billion, or was it 250 million? It was either million or billion. It was somewhere in there, something crazy. And I'm like, how do you just roll up out of nowhere, automatically telling another country, like, hey, if America does not sit up there and support us, you guys got that bill. Y'all got us, right? Right. Yo, that's crazy. That's some diabolical work. Let me tell you something. I've never in my, like, the stuff that I am seeing in 2025, I've never seen in my existence. And when I was younger, I would sit up there and watch a lot of news. I would sit up there and watch a lot of news. Wait, what? Let me see. Yeah, I don't know why you got that random rest in peace directly in the comment section. That's a little bit weird. I'm like, I don't even understand that one. What is up? What is up, Gray? What is up? What is up? What is up? What is going on? Yeah, I don't know what y'all writing that for, cause ain't nobody passed. So I'm a little bit confused. Let me see some. Let me just check something real quick. Let me just look. This ain't nothing trending. Let me see. Because that would have been the biggest story known to man. I could sit up there and tell you that. Yeah, nothing. Well, you said it was a car crash in Houston. I mean, that doesn't. Man, y'all just saying anything right now. Swear to goodness. Yeah, it's sitting up here just like typing anything at this moment in time. I mean, if something did happen, it would technically be trending. Ain't nothing trending on Twitter. Let me see. It was in the 2024. Yeah, I ain't seeing nothing. Let me tell you, I do not see nothing up there. Now, if you were talking about Angie Stone, yeah, that's RIP to Angie Stone. Yeah, I think I just want to say all black people don't look alike. I just want to put that directly out there. I don't know if these are bots or not. I'm guessing that these are bots. Guessing these are bots. But yeah. Where's the gold? More than $350 billion in the bag. Yeah. Rabbit said Ukraine and America equals true. Let me see. Songly said, I love that you're here below. Hey, much love, respect, and appreciation. Jedi Sage, what is up? You said streets say that they got her for money. Oh no, I got a video directly on NG Stone. That's about like the third video. No, I'm sorry, it's about the fourth video. So yeah, we got that one. Oh, I got you. So let me go to the next one. This is dealing with the police real quick.
Are you okay? Do you need an ambulance? The f*** need the ambulance for? I'm biting my field.
Telling me what?
My love, what? Exactly. What the f*** you want?
Exactly.
My grandma, I'm finna get on a bus. Get off my dick. Bro, Gray, you dumbass. Oh, hold on. What? I'm saying, why did you even pull up on me? I'm biting my field. Cause I'm what? I couldn't hear you. What? Because I'm finna go to work. I'm gonna treat y'all like my grandma. What do y'all want, bro?
What do you have in your pocket?
What the f*** what I got on my... Touch me, gang. Touch me. I don't have something to touch me, bro. What the f*** y'all want from me, bro? What the f*** y'all want from me, bro? You see this song? What I got in my pocket? I don't have something, gang. Record this. I'm catching a bus. They randomly jump out talking about, what do I mean? What? Do I need an ambulance? Bro, stop y'all cars. Look at this. Y'all just made my day. Y'all just made my food. My way to work. Y'all stopping me on bro grade. Keep going. I know. You just made me miss the bus. Y'all made it look like I'm detaining you. My grandma. What's your name? What's your... I'm not touching you. Don't touch me. What's your... Don't touch me. Y'all just made me miss the bus.
I ain't gonna say don't get too close. So there was a little bit of editing that had to go in there because there was a lot of cussing there. So yeah, that's why there was a lot of cuts. But the main thing that you were able to see, and in a sense here, you got a black man that was waiting in Chicago. He was waiting for the bus to go to work. Simple. He wasn't out there doing nothing else, sitting on the side, waiting on a bus. A lot of areas don't happen to have your standard issue bus stop where it has an enclosure where you can just sit there and it's a bench. A lot of times there's a bus stop and you got the pole directly right there, and you're standing. You're standing there for about 30 to 45 minutes waiting for that bus, no matter what the weather is. And it's a lot of instances where I've seen this happen to a lot of young black men where the cops just want to pull up and they just want to harass, a black man for no reason. I'm like, what are y'all doing? And I want people to understand is the reason why they do these pop-ups or these pop-outs in these unmarked cars, because they're expecting you, they want to generate a response so that they can perform a certain action. So they didn't get the response that they wanted from him. They were expecting as soon as they pulled up that he was going to start running. That's what they wanted him to do, so that the action that they were going to perform, which is chase, put hands on him, search him, pat him down, run his name, do all of these things, right? That's what they wanted to happen. But because he didn't give that necessary action for them to do so, this is why they're just standing there looking stupid. They all jumped out the car. One male cop, two female cops, all jumped out the car, and they're basically in front of him at the bus stop, all looking stupid. Like, that don't make no sense. That dude got every right to sit up there and be mad because it's like you're bothering this dude. He just wants to sit up there and get to work, sit up there and make whatever money he's going to make and come back home and do whatever. You're sitting up there messing up his whole day. And not only that, you sat up there and was out there for so long that you had the dude basically miss the bus. The bus basically went past that stop and went to another stop because they're not going to stand there and wait for you. If the police are basically talking, the bus driver's like, okay, well, it is what it is. So now this dude's going to be late for work. And who's to say that the supervisor, whoever it is that he has, is going to sit up there and take that as an excuse? Because some jobs have what's called a point system. And you may have 5 or 6 or maybe 8 points. And they can either half those points or they can do a full point and a half. It's at their discretion. So if this dude is on a point system, guess what? He done just probably lost a point, half a point, or a point and a half. So now he's going to be down. And then they're going to try to use that and hold that directly against him. Like I said before, this is why I got a multitude. Is this and many other reasons why it is that I have problems with police. Like I said, and this is the second story dealing with the police. One, it was dealing with the white community, how the cops there were messing up the white community. How they were selling narcotics and doing all of these things that they should not have been doing. And then they also had in-house, where you had in-house of the cops, you had the husband there, and then you had in-house, which was the cop's wife, sitting up there doing the selling as well. Crazy work. But somehow, some way, America always paints black men in the black community being the one and only true drug dealers out of the whole United States, when the United States itself is the largest drug dealer distribution and creator here. Crazy work though, but hey, propaganda at work. Somebody has to be the villain, right? Shout out to those opioids, not created by black people. But you know, it is what it is. But again, this is America. Let's continue.
All in the 60s. Why you never hear nobody talk about the 70s? How many of you people here talk about the 70s? Nobody. Everybody said, boy, in the 60s. And here we are in the 80s. You know what I mean? Nobody talk. Because in the 70s, those whites regrouped and wiped us out. You see, here's what happened. White women saw their men in trouble. And like all female animals, anytime the male gets in trouble, the female attacks. That is a law of nature. A law of nature. If you don't believe it, we can prove it in a zoo anytime you want to. Now, what happened, white women came out and captured our women and convinced us that white women were not as racist as white men. And convinced us, or convinced our women, that they would place them above their husbands, their brothers, their lovers, their children, their sons. And we said, then the white gays came out and convinced our gays it was a gay struggle and stole our gays. White students came out and grabbed our black students, said it was a student struggle, and wiped out our black students. And all of a sudden, we up to wondering, where's the fight?
Right. So that was, again, you listening to elders basically speak on something that I've talked about before directly on this platform many a times when they dealt with a lot of these movements. And the elder specifically stated how it is that a group came directly in there and they gave everybody a task in the black community, right? So they gave it specifically one to the women, and then they gave it directly to the gays, and so on and so on and so on, right? To cause that great division, to pull people directly from focusing on anything that dealt with black people and focusing on a quote unquote integrational or type of everything problem, right? It's not just black people going through this problem, it's everybody going through this problem. We gotta fight together. We're all God's creatures and children, right? It's that whole kumbaya story, right? That whole one big lie. And we see where that basically got the black community. And again, the black community is pretty much the only community that is always told that, hey, you guys need to stop just solely focusing in on yourselves. While at the same time, people are like, yo, black people, you guys need to fix yourselves. You guys need to. It's crazy how that works, right? On one end, America is like, hey, black people, look at what you guys don't have. You guys need to create something. You guys need to, work for yourselves. You guys need to come together. You guys need to sit up there and create. And then when we take that advice and we listen, the same people come back and be like, hey, black people, why are you guys so such into division? Why are you guys trying to segregate yourselves? Why are you guys trying to big up and build yourselves up and invest in yourselves? Why don't you guys want to be around other groups of people? Why are you guys shunning us all away? Why don't you guys want to share? But when you bring this up and you showcase this to the forefront to people try to make it seem like you're crazy. As a black person, they really try to make it seem like you're crazy. It's like, no, you guys don't know what you're talking about. We've always wanted you guys to be around us whites. No, you didn't. 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 Like I said, sleight of hand, great trickeries that go on, great deceivers, that take place. That's directly out here. So it's a very beautiful thing. Very beautiful thing. Let me tell you. My goodness. My goodness. My goodness. My goodness. But hopefully this will be the point in time where, you'll have a lot of people, those who are in the gay community, black people in the gay community, will start to realize, because as I've stated before, they are a minority within a minority, right? They make up the smallest amount when it deals with the representation. The funniest thing is when it deals, if you actually look at or think about the black community, when it deals with the gay community, black people are overrepresented because because people will sit up there, let's say, look at Atlanta, right? For all intents and purposes, that would be considered out of the world. That would be the black gay mecca, right? Just like you have California would be the gay mecca for everybody else. And technically California, then you got, in a sense, like New York. those two areas there. But the actual worldwide gay mecca, and I've covered this area about quite a few times, at least a handful times, which is Tel Aviv. If you don't know where Tel Aviv is, you might want to look that up and look at what's in close proximity, what is close to, and who's there, and all of these things. But Tel Aviv is the gay mecca of the world. There is no place larger, no place happier than that place, right? And but nobody wants to look at that. Nobody wants to, fixate or focus directly on who is the main population, the highest demographic. They have to make somebody the poster child, right? And when they tend to make somebody the poster child, they'll tend to add a negative directly to it. Even though all the rest of them are doing the exact same thing, if you're black and doing it, it's going to be an asterisk right there. There has to, we have to, paint this in a whole nother type of light. So whenever something happens, we're going to sit up there and showcase somebody black. Preferably, it's going to be a black male. So whenever it is that I saw, let's say, any of these HIV type of commercials where they have these HIV suppressant medications, they would make sure to have a black male, gay black male, directly in those commercials. I'm like, word? I'm like, so I'm like, not saying that that's not something that is like that's happening, but I'm like, out of all of the groupings of people that make up the mass majority of the community, you would want to showcase the face. And I understand and I get the fact that some people want to talk about being underrepresented when it deals with certain things. I get that fact. But being overly represented, and then overly represented to the fact where they want to throw your image directly in a commercial to say, like, hey, this is you and this is all you and nobody else, that's some crazy work. That's some crazy work. Crazy work. Yo, what's up, K5? What is up? What is up? What is up? Much love, respect, and appreciation. What is up? What is up? What is up? But yeah, it's crazy, man. And like I said before, I've covered and I've talked about a lot of topics here, regardless on if people, like the topics or not, or, all this other type of stuff. I did my due diligence to try to cover every single topic, even if I am not a part of or of that community. I still try to highlight some of the issues and different things that take place and happen. But hey, like I say, you can't make everybody happy, and everybody don't want to sit up there and pay attention. So it'd be like that, man. You live, you learn, and then there's Huggies. I think that's how that commercial used to go. I don't know. I don't know. It's just me, But you said Brother Ninja was playing that girl to pay attention to prep commercial again. Red flag. Some more slanders work. It is insulting. Yep. Bushido, what is up? What is up? What is up? You said, what up, brother Seiji? I hope your day is going well. Yeah, it's going all right. I've been, no life in Monster Hunter, but yes, it's been going all right. Let me see. It's like saying that they're stupid and they'll never suspect a thing. Yeah. Jedi Sage said all the ties into our struggles and makes theirs ours technology. Bars. Yep, it'd be like that. Let me tell you. But like I said, people will figure it out. People figure it out. But the funniest thing is when I look at the commercials that I happen to see, I don't see the same exact talks on Twitter. I'm sorry, X. If anybody's been on X continuously and throughout the years, you know that the conversations are drastically different. And especially from the stuff that people just so happen to post. Like when I sit up there, and I don't want to put it like this, right? Because I got people directly, in my family and everything like that. So because I care and I love them, I want to put out certain information, to other people directly out there so that people can be at the forefront, be aware and, all of that other type of good stuff. But the craziest part all across the board is that a lot of people don't advocate for protection. I'm talking about just as a standard, right? This is in a sense like kind of moving from the main topic of the video that I showcase here, but still highlighting a problem and a issue. It's like, people don't, advocate for or talk about, protection, protecting oneself, getting tested, and and all of those things. And that is something that needs to be done. As somebody that's a content creator, and I spend a lot of my time directly looking at social media and taking in all the other type of stuff that people post and put out, and reading tweets. 99.9% of the time, people are not talking about protection. I'm just gonna be real. I'm talking about all over the board. I don't care if it's Asian, I don't care if it's African, I don't care if it's Caribbean, Jamaican, whatever people want to call themselves. Ain't none of y'all talking about protection. I'm just gonna be real. I'm looking at I'm talking about the hundreds upon thousands upon tens of thousands upon hundreds of thousands of comments that I be seeing directly under a lot of these threads when people want to, start talking about different activities or making comments about, certain videos and stuff. Nobody brings up protection. Nobody's talking about knowing their status. Nobody's talking about the prevalence and the reality of catching a lot of STDs because people are going out here doing whatever it is that they feel like doing. Like I said, it's a very dangerous world out here, both ways. I don't care if you're straight. I don't care if you're bi. I don't care if you are straight homosexual. I don't care what it is. Y'all got to start living better. Y'all got to start moving way differently. 2025, a lot of people need to really start going getting checked up. I'm just being real. Just gonna be real, because like I said, people ain't growing up in the era that I was in, where we would have commercials literally during the shows that we would watch. I'm talking about like 106 in Park, where they would run commercials talking about wrap it up, talking about protected stuff, talking about know your status. This generation, these two newer generations out here, they don't know nothing about that. Nothing. There is no type of like real awareness about it. There's no real type of conversations about it. It's not even in the music. And I listen to some of the music here. Ain't nobody sitting up here talking about protection and doing this. Everything is about just moving, hipping and skipping and hopping from one person to the next. That's it. And like I said, it's dangerous. It is very, very dangerous. Like, it is crazy work. Crazy work out here. But, like I said before, a lot of people gonna, soon find out. People are going to soon find out the hard way, and it's it's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be crazy. Yeah, demon time. Yeah, yep. It's not good. It's not good at all. So like I said before, a lot of people and a lot of parents, y'all need to start talking to your kids. I'm just going to be real. Start talking to your kids, because I'm just going to be real with a lot of y'all right now. I'm not sure how many of y'all at this moment in time have like some preteen or some teenagers. Start taking these phones away from your kids. I'm just gonna be real. The stuff that they be posting, we need age limits on the internet. I'm just gonna be real. It might sound drastic, it might sound crazy, but because they're man. How can I sit up there and just, I'm not even sure how to even sit up there. Like I said, the stuff that your kids be posting, dog, like, it's not, oh man. That's the best way I can sit up there and put it, because I can't describe it like really any type of way. Like, I don't even care if like the kids are even like, let's say like 19, 20, 21. It's like, everything don't need to be on the internet, man. Everything don't need to be on the internet. It's like, on one instance, we got young dudes out here, teenage guys out here sitting up there flashing like guns and money, right? Something that we've been seeing for the longest time possible. And now we got the rise of young girls out here sitting up there dressing like grown women and moving like grown women. So they talking about body counts. Like, you got a lot of 18-year-old girls, 17-year-old girls talking about they got, 25 on them, 30. And I'm like, huh? And it's a lot of other stuff that's being placed directly online. That shit, like I said, parents, I need y'all to be parents. Your kids are moving way too quick. During a point in time during my gen, my mom and people of her generation were saying that my generation were, they were moving quick, too hot and all this other type of stuff. These two generations right now, they have gone far beyond anything that I was able to see, hear, or witness. It is insane the things that are directly out here. Like I said, parents, y'all need to be parents. Y'all need to get on your kids' social media. The internet is the worst possible thing for you to allow them to really have 100% hold directly on. Like I said, with the technology that we got now, I'm not sure how specifically it's going to happen. I've stated time and time again that realistically these things got to be fixed internally. Parents got to raise their kids from the ages of 0 to like 14. Like I said, those that precious time, that's the moment in time that you mold those kids. Instead of giving them a phone. There was an app, and I might happen to do like I'm not gonna do a live stream on that one. I'm not gonna do that. But I tell you, I put it to you like this, right? It's gonna take me a second because I'm doing this directly off of the phone because I gotta go to the app store. Because I want to read this directly off. This is actually completely like separate. I got stuff lined up to actually talk about. But I did want to do a video directly on this, but I was not sure how to specifically do it because the thing I've understood and learned is that those who are into certain things will hurry up and try to report certain things, right? Let me see if I can go to the comment. Because if you go, so it's an app called Likee. That is Likee, right? Likee. And I want people to understand how bad the app is. Because I think, yeah, they started deleting, I think they deleted a lot of the reviews. Because if you go to, let me see if I can go to critical. Yeah, because it looks like they deleted, because one of the lower star critiques that they had on here was talking about the fact that you have a lot of adults. So this is the problem, right? So you got this app. I think maybe I did do a video on it a while ago, but the app is called Likee. So for any parents directly out there, it's called Likee, right? They basically tried to make another app that's sort of like another TikTok. TikTok originally you had kids and stuff directly on there. Those are the ones pretty much, moving stuff directly on the app and everything, and then everybody else jumped on it, right? Likee is pretty much the same thing. The only difference is you have a certain how can I sit up there and put this? You got certain types of individuals, because I gotta try to say this differently because I gotta remind myself that certain people out here are considered a protected group. Shout out to YouTube for letting me know that, right? Certain people out here are a protected group. So if you know the people that I'm basically talking about, then you understand why I'm bringing up, this app and everything like that, right? You got certain people that go directly on this app and they will leave comments directly on profiles. And these profiles are not grown adults. They're not grown adults. And if you as a parent happen to, because you can go directly on the app, you can download it, go directly on the app, and you don't have to actually sign up in order to view videos, right? I think normally on most apps, it would require you to actually sign in order to start scrolling. I don't think you have to do that directly on this. I don't think. But once you download it, you go directly on there. Start just going through some of those videos and look at some of the comments that are directly there. Because I want to state it should have been about December when I saw some of the comments that were being highly, I'm talking about when I mean critical of this app, they were being highly critical. And you had people openly talking about like, hey, this app is not good because, you know, there are no type of, you know, protections for said individuals that are, you know, here that are just doing, you know, just random videos, random stuff that kids do. Right. There's really no protection, you know, directly for them. Don't know who's, you know, moderating the platform and all this other type of, because some of the comments that were directly there, they have some very I would say jail prison worthy comments from individuals there. But like I said, this is just me giving that, putting that directly out there to a lot of you guys who are parents, who are guardians, as a key cut, clear example of why it is that you need to pay attention and watch your kids. It's even to the point that a lot of those on there understand and know that you got certain people that will leave comments and give attention. So they'll just like cover their face and they'll still do whatever. Like I said before, I need a lot of parents. I need a lot of parents. I need a lot of parents to start being parents, to monitor their kids, like I said, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. It it feels like to me, like even like talking about this is a losing situation because I feel like nothing's going to get done, and I feel like a lot of parents, you know, just ain't going to hear me, not going to, you know, really listen, not going to really take heed to the word. Because things, like I said, things like this should not be happening. I've reported on principals. I've told you about teachers, teacher assistants, I was going to say step teachers, Jesus Christ, substitute teachers, and so on. Like it don't matter what field or what job any of these people were in, they had one goal, and they went directly after that one goal. And the main thing I'm trying to do is the same thing that I've been doing for over what 4 or 5 plus years, is to put a warning directly out there to the adults that do care, to the parents, to the guardians that actually do care about these situations and a lot of these topics, so that you guys can be ahead of the curve, so that you can potentially save your kids. Because there's other incidences as well that I've covered where you've had young girls who've opted to run away from home because they were talking to somebody online. And as somebody online, I guess, hyped them up, or, you know, told them like, you know, I can make your life better. You know, you can come out here and live with me and we can be happily ever. And guess what? That girl is never found ever again. She's never seen. Now, I'm not going to sit up there and say that, you know, the girl is clear cut dumb. She is. But also part of that ignorance comes by way of the parents not somehow, some way, not facilitating the type of love or nurturing or something there that is in a sense missing. So therefore she has to go elsewhere to sit up there and look for it. She got to go at the age of 13 or 14, talk to some grown dude online that's hyping her up, filling her head up, and now she want to run away and be with this grown adult. And then now your daughter is gone. Now she's missing. Now you got to sit up there and plan a funeral. Now you out here asking people for, you know, any words, anything like that. When all I've been sitting up there telling people time and time again is like, yo, watch your kids. Be there with your kids. Have dinner, have lunch, have conversations. Be interested in what your kids are interested. Like I said, that's the whole reason I made it to the age that I'm at right now. My mom was interested. Now, of course, we didn't have the internet like we got it right now. But again, even outside of that, we were outside. You know, we went to like the store, we went to the mall, we did all of these things. We hung around various groups of people. But depending on how you were raised, depending on how involved your parents were with you at home, automatically dictated what you were going to do outside. Because of how I was raised, I made sure I had like-minded people. I made sure I wasn't dibbling, dabbling in drugs and alcohol and doing stuff that I was not supposed to be doing. Even still to this day, I'm not dibbling, dabbling in any of those things. Because it's not a necessity to me. It's not a need for me. Also because my mom was there, right? So she could sit up there and tell me stories and let me know things that she saw when she was in high school, what other people suffered through and went through, and all of these things. She gave me those stories. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want that to be me. I'm good. All you need is one example. I'm good. Right. So, like I said, I don't know. It seems like a lot of people out here want to have kids, but they don't want to be responsible. A lot of people want to, have kids, but they just don't want to be responsible. A lot of people just want the title of being a parent without even actually being a parent. And the kids got to suffer, and society has to suffer because of their poor decision making, all because people want a title. It's crazy. It's crazy. But anyways, off of that switch of the topic. Yo, what is up, Mo? On to the next video, and this one is dealing with Angie Stone. This was a topic that was, in a sense, brought up earlier. Let me make sure this is all the way back. Here we go.
After 40-something years in the business, I'm like, well, why? Where are my royalties going? Because I'm not getting this. Come to find out, Universal Music has been receiving all my royalties, all my mechanicals. They've taken pretty much everything. They've stolen, I won't say stolen, but they have taken all the monies that were due to me. They have basically absorbed in that company. And even though there's several class action lawsuits, people that were working on my behalf never even registered the songs, all the songs that I've done. I'm only coming to find out they were not properly registered by the companies that I signed over to. People that were supposed to do their due diligence. So I am truly a walking testimony that God has carried me all this time. Because if you only knew how much money they have taken from me, how much they have stolen from me, monies that I'm supposed to be, I should have been able to retire 20 years ago with the money I've made, supposedly. But there are key people I have to give up my coins. And so what I'm doing now is whatever is necessary to make sure they pay me for the legacy of my life, for my children and my grandchildren. They're going to have to give me my money. I mean, when you sit back and think Bruno Mars, Dr. Dre, when you think about all these people that have sampled music, if they're filthy rich on it, what's our problem? Or my problem?
Right. The beginning, I don't even know who you're talking about when you're talking about Cry About It. I'm not even sure who you're talking to. People have stated, and she has also stated, that she has been trying to get a lot of things corrected that deal with money. I guess you could say royalties and everything like that. Because in the music industry, a lot of artists don't have control of their stuff. Right. I'm talking about, that means from the name to marketing to everything. Right. It's the same thing, just like wrestling. It's the exact same thing I tried to explain to people before when it dealt with wrestling. And there's varying instances of WWF or WCW stars that have had to name swap. Right, they had to change. They couldn't carry that same name that they had in the WWF to the WCW. They had to swap it. They had to change it. They had to do something, right? Because Vince McMahon would have ownership of those names because he basically created those wrestlers, right? That is his product, right? So he would control the marketing and how it's distributed and the licensing agreements and the brand deals and all of those things. It's the exact same thing for artists. Now, the most interesting thing about this, and I've stated this before, in order to navigate this whole deal with artists not having their own, is that you can use cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, right? One of the artists that I knew was talking about it or referenced it before a lot of other artists was Nipsey Hussle, right? And then a little bit after that, or somewhere during the time, then you started, looking at the likes of a Jay-Z or Nas or others out there that wanted to, in a sense, talk about it, right? But they were just talking about cryptocurrency as in money, right? Like the Ethereum, the Bitcoin, and Monero, all that other type of good stuff. The thing that Nipsey was talking about was the thing behind the cryptocurrency, which is the blockchain technology. That's the real tech, right there. Everything that holds all of the information, right? You can do everything from running a business. You can do everything from voting. You can do everything from building websites to game creation, all of that, right? Because of the blockchain technology that is there. One of the artists that was, in a sense, ahead of his time was Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez ended up doing a record or whatnot, and he did it by way of uh, crypto, right? Blockchain. And instead of having the middleman, which is the record company and everything, it was pretty much him. And then it was whoever was running the crypto website or whatever it was, right? Those were basically the two entities. There was no third man, right? Which means that the money will be getting siphoned off, and the mass majority of it will go directly to the record label. And Tory Lanez was hyped because he ended up getting a call. He was like, yo, from doing this, I made about, I think he said about what, 1 or 4 million directly off of doing that. And that was directly from artists to the people. Like, I don't think people actually grasped or understood what it was that Tory Lanez just did, or how, in a sense, groundbreaking something like that is. Because anytime that you have an artist that is, in a sense, already established, they have to go through the record company. There's always some type of middleman. These are all these, thousands of other people have to get paid before the artist actually gets their money. And when artists normally already start as an artist, they're thrown in debt. So they're in the red. They're never in the green, they're in the red. Right? They're like, okay, so we're going to give you what we feel we expect from your very first record, right? So we're going to give you, like, let's say you might be a good singer, song's a little bit catchy. Fine, no problem. We're going to give you about like five, maybe like 6 million. Right. So this is when you see a lot of the rap artists or whatnot, they're wearing all the jewelry and all that because they got to put on the show. They got to let you know that they got it, that, they got the mansion, they got the cars and whatnot. And they're literally paying money. They're paying for all these items with debt. They're not paying it with actual money that they just earn, because the only money that they actually get is from tours. This is why you have artists that would do, let's say, like a Beyonce. They would do all of these tours across the United States. And then they'll decide to do some tours over there in Europe. They'll do some tours over there in Australia, because that's where their actual real money comes from, by doing those tours, which are outside, in a sense, away from the record company. Because when you do tours, you got to pay that directly from, in a sense, out of pocket. You got to put money directly down and, do all of that big type of stuff. But if you want to depend on the record label, instead of you making 100 million directly on tour, you're probably going to end up pulling in 20, if even that, because the greater majority of that is going to go directly to the record label, the record company, because they own everything. They own you, they own your image, they own your name, they got an insurance policy directly on you. So Miss Angie is no longer here, right? Who do you think has the insurance policy? Who do you think has the insurance policy? And then the craziest part is, I think somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I was having a conversation, and they had told me that when that car accident happened, she was the only one that passed. Now that could have changed from when I last had that conversation, but that would be completely weird if this accident took place, and she was the only person that is no longer here, the exact same person that was having problems with the record label. That almost sounds a little bit reminiscent of Michael Jackson and many others. Michael Jackson, a Prince, and all these other artists that mysteriously just passed somehow, some way. So instead of it being drugs, now it's a car accident. Like I said, all these record companies, they have insurance policies on these artists. So one way or another, they're going to sit up there and get their money off of these artists. One way or another, they're going to get their money directly off of these artists. Like I said, it's crazy. And they always sit up there and say that you're worth more dead than you are alive. So don't be too shocked where you start seeing over the next few weeks to a few months that out of nowhere, Angie Stone's music is getting played heavily. It's now going, up in the charts. But I'm like, how is that possible now when she was alive? I'm like, you didn't have magically people just showing up out of nowhere, just awesomely just playing it. And then the other thing that I found as well online is that you got people trying to say that soul, like neo soul and whatnot, and this has to be from the newer generation. Saying that music is corny. I'm like, there's nothing corny about people, love. Like she was one of the first artists, like back when everything was taking place. Like you had the Macy Gray, you had the Angie Stones, you had the Erica Badu's, you had the Jill Scotts. Like I looked at those women, I'm like, yo, they beautiful. I'm like, all right, okay. So I see you, directly, out here. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. And then, she had one of the songs that, in a sense, elevated black men. You saw varying different types of black men directly throughout her video, and her basically preaching on and standing on how much she basically loves black men, how no matter what, she will always be there, she will always support, she will always be in the corner, she will always respect, she will always value. You don't have music. The reason why stuff like this is called corny is because you don't have this type of like love anymore. There's no, actual love in music anymore. Music, for all intents and purposes, is full of a lot of degeneracy. It's a lot of, it's not even like it's a split. Like let's say like the 2000s and the 90s, you used to have like it was an even playground, right? As much as you heard rap, you also heard love or relationships or marriage, right? You had that R&B, you had that soul, you had that neo soul, right? You had that to counter. You don't got that no more. Anytime that you see a black female artist, it's a rapper. And pretty much talking about the exact same thing they've always talked about. Anytime that you happen to see a black male artist talking about the same thing that they've always been talking about, right? Now, the only difference would, in a sense, come in when you have singers such as, let's say, a Mario, right, or a Chris Brown, where there are mixes. Well, Mario, he more so stays on, the exact, R&B, love type of thing. And then you would have Chris Brown that could do, either or, like basically, all around, all over the place. Right. But again, you only have a few that you can, in a sense, list the name that are out there that give you type of songs that, in a sense, talk about love or relationships and things like that go sort of back to, the R&B type of thing from like the 2000s and the 90s and so on and so on. Like I said, music is it's terrible. KR said SZA. You know, it's a it's a little bit tough because I'm looking at things a little bit differently. Because I know of SZA, not the complete discography. But I more so know SZA due to the fact of, of course, Kendrick, Black Panther. Um, and I also know her by way of the fact of looking at her, meaning seeing her body just morph. Um, like I said, it's a little bit tough, right? And like I said, I can admit that I have my biases when it comes to, certain types of things. Because if I am to, in a sense, compare, let's say, like the R and B and things like that, where the Jill Scotts, Erica Badu's, Lauryn Hill, different, all of those women are beautiful, all in their own right. And they did not necessarily do anything to drastically change their body, right? Um, what was it? What was it? I'm trying to think of India. Case in point, India Re, right? One of the most beautiful songs that I love, right? I Am Not My Hair. That's my mom's favorite song. She would always have that, and I would hear it, on the radio, getting picked up from school at one point, or another. I think she also had her CD at a moment in time, right? Um, that was her. That was just like natural, beauty. It doesn't matter like if she had, her hair or not. It was just that. When I look at a lot of the women now that are in music, they will preach about being beautiful and loving who it is that they are, but at the same time, they will go and get surgery. So you're spending and giving a false narrative to a lot of these women and a lot of these young women and these girls that's looking directly up to you, knowing the fact that you don't necessarily realistically love yourself. You're telling people that outwardly is like, yeah, I love myself, but then you're going in under the knife and spending 50 to 100 grand, if not more, to now have this quote unquote perfect body that the rest of these IG models and everybody else already got. But yet these young girls out here that's 12, they can't sit up there and do that. They're looking at you as to what perfection is, but you're lying directly to them in their face. You got women out here that feel that SZA is beautiful, but a lot of women that look up to SZA might be overweight. So what type of message is that realistically sending to those women? Is it telling them that, hey, you're still beautiful even if you're not me, or is it stating that I'm more beautiful than you, and if you want to look like me, aka SZA, then you got to sit up there and get some money? Like I said, I don't know. I just look at, I don't know. I look at things a little bit differently. Like if stuff was more so focused on music, and I didn't really, in a sense, see the artist as I see them, then it would be a little bit different, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Rebelin says, shout out to NDRE. Yep. NDRE is dope. It's dope. Like I said, the music, I would highly take the women of the 90s and the 2000s, like of singing and music, versus a lot of what I hear now. Like I can listen to everything, but I'm just listening. It's not nothing, right? But the women of like the 90s and the 2000s, when they were actually singing, it was actually conveying something. It was in a sense actually feeding directly to, the soul of that person, right? It was actually making them feel better. It was actually uplifting them, right? It was actually nurturing. It was in some instances, like a lot of songs, like let's put it back to like Mary J. Blige. If you listen to a lot of her songs, a lot of her songs come from the things that she's went through. You feel like the hurt, the pain, like what was it? No More Drama in My Life. Yo, that song be hitting. Even if, because again, just going off of the fact of being like a human being, even if you've never been through anything, right? When you sit up there and listen to her voice and you see the video, and you're just like, you're not focused on nothing else, you got headphones, you just like listening, it hits like it's something, it's like it's there. You start to like really feel that. And it's like once you start to hear it over and over again, it's like it's there. It's like, damn, right? It's that whole type of thing that, in a sense hits. Like it's crazy. It's crazy, you know. So like I said, shout out to those women. Shout out to the black women of R&B, of soul, neo soul, and all of that. Like I said, we need a lot of that. Like that, like I said before, a lot of those songs, those would like heal. It's almost like listening to older songs from like the 70s where what was it? Like Luther. Like a song that I love, it was what was it? Dancing with My Father. Dope song. and then to also watch the video. It's like, man, it will make you feel, you know, a certain type of way. Like I said, you got certain artists out there where it's like they have a voice where it just conveys that message, or it will literally transform a song versus if another artist were to have sung that song. You know, like I said, it's crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. You know. But yeah, much love to all of those women out there for all of that great music. Needs to, make a return. But the only way that can happen is if the older generation are able to get in contact with the younger girls of now. But it's like the younger girls of now, because they hot, they on top, they ain't trying to hear nothing. So it's like you can't pull them out the club, you can't stop them from doing this and doing that, and to actually talking about love and stuff, because they a lot of the female artists of now have taken on the emotions, the appearance, the actions of men. Right. If you are to compare the music from at a previous time, women were women. Shout out to All in the Family, where women were women and men were men. Right. Now we're at a point in time where when men used to sit up there and rap and saying all the things that people said we should stop glorifying. Now you got the female artists doing the exact same thing, just in reverse. And I'm like, that don't make no sense. I'm like, why would you want to take on the negative masculine traits, the things that people said that we shouldn't be uplifting, we shouldn't be glorifying? But now it's like every time I see a black female artist, that's all I'm hearing. Better yet, it's even gotten to the point now where I hear white female rap artists, that's all I'm hearing. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Like I said, I need somebody to give me a time machine. Let me go back to the 2000s real quick, where white boys are making alternative rock. If we are to talk about music and how things need to, quote unquote, how people want to say, oh, we're going to make America great, this is how you make America great. Have white boys, get white boys out of rap. Stop having them like, oh, I got the double cup, I got the grills, I got the fade or Caesar. All take all of that out. Put white boys back in doing alternative rock. That is where some of the greatest of greatest music that white people have created, alternative rock, that was it. That was 100% it. Because I'm just going to sit up there and be real, right? I grew up, like I told y'all before, I grew up at a point in time where I was playing Madden and I was also playing Burnout. I wasn't, in a sense, really listening to rap. Of course, I heard it on the radio. I was listening to more R&B and different things like that. But when it dealt with music, I was listening to more alternative rock. So you had the Blink, you had the Sum, you had Linkin Park. At certain point in times, you might even have some Aerosmith directly in there. I don't think I was really listening to like Radiohead directly like that. Who else? I didn't want to. Technically, Paramore wasn't. What were they back there? I mean, technically, you got Paramore directly back there, but I mean that's white female artists. You got the Avril Lavigne's, directly in there, and all that other type of stuff. Like I said, the music, it was just there. It was just people just having fun, right? That's all it was. Like I said, one of the songs I like from Paramore, "Ain't It Fun." That song, it be hitting. I don't know. I don't know the simple song be hitting. Like I said, all of Linkin Park. And the crazy part is, though, was that D Money said the emo thing. I wasn't even. And the crazy part is, I wasn't even emo. I just liked the music because it was just like, it was just there. It was nothing more, nothing less. Like literally, what, in a sense, the video, how they filmed the video, that was in a sense like the song, right? It wasn't nothing you had to like really think or overthink. It was just simple. It conveyed a very simple, message and different stuff like that. Even some of the songs in the mid 2000s when it dealt with, alternative were still good. One of my favorite songs, Kings of Leon. Now I gotta sit up there. Oh, and I know this song too, and it's gonna mess me up. Kings of Leon. Yeah, I think it should be like somebody. Yeah, you somebody. Yep, one of my favorite songs. Love that song. I probably had that song on repeat probably like over 100 times. What was the brother name? Blunt. Something. Now I gotta go through my list of songs, but like I said, it's a lot of songs. Just let it go, just let it breathe. Why can't you be you and I be me? Or me be me? Should have been James Blunt. I think it was. That should have been the song. But the main video was like a house that was on fire and he was, walking directly through it. Another artist that I it's not alternative rock, but another artist, it was like early Ed Sheeran, I See Fire. And I think that was for Lord of the Rings. And I think he said he took about like 15 minutes to make that. Like I said, it's a lot of different songs that I would just sit up there and listen to because it would just put me directly at ease. It still had like some type of it conveys some type of like energy or emotion, but it just in a sense, put me at ease. Just saying. Oh yeah, Limp Bizkit, yeah. Stacey's mom got it on, yeah. Paramore, Haley Williams, yeah. Now You're One of Us. I think it's gospel. Yeah. That part was when you heard the choir on that song, like it started hitting. Don't go crying to your mama. As soon as you heard the choir hit, like I said, when you throw black people directly into different music, it will elevate that in a certain way. And in a very positive way. Like if you listen to that song, if you listen to that whole song, and when a choir starts peeking up through the song, if you don't have like some type of like goosebumps or like hair like raising or something, I can't even explain it to you. I don't know what to tell you. You might not be human. I don't know what to tell you. You might lack some emotion because that song hits every time. Every time. Wait, were you about to say Hootie and the Blowfish? I think somebody's about to put that up there. As I said, I'm getting tired of the what's the name commercials. Oh yeah, I don't got no control over what type of commercials that they show. Sorry about that. C. Terry said, "We Are Young" with Janelle Monáe. Oh yeah. I think I remember that song. I think I do remember that. What was another song? But that was like a little bit later. They had a lot of hits. Like when you think about like the other music directly, like alternate, it's a lot of hits, a lot of music. Like I can't even. I would have to literally go on Spotify right now and to really go through songs. Nickelback was one of them too. I'm just going to sit up and be honest. I know a lot of people did not like Nickelback at all. At a point in time, Nickelback was one of those groups. When I was running track, me and my friends would be sitting up there. Look at this, folks. We would be just sitting up there. We would be going through the main songs directly up there and just like singing it while we're sitting up there like training, like running around the track, just sitting up there like yelling it. So we sitting up there huffing it around the track, and we sitting up there singing Nickelback like it was. And I want y'all to understand, this is not at a white school. We were black. We were black. We were black. If I could at a moment in time happen to get a yearbook or two, I could sit up there and show you some of the people that I was running track with. Hilarious. But yeah, it was all black track team. So yeah, it was. I just want people to understand. It was nobody else there but us. But this is what we were just sitting up there doing. Like I said, it was fun times. Fun times. Yeah, you know what? The funny you listed Sam Smith. Sam Smith. I liked a lot of the earlier Sam Smith. Right. And the vocals, the sound, the emotions, great music. I don't know what to tell people about Sam Smith of now. It just completely threw me off. That man just took like a whole nother turn, just like Little Nas X. And again, I completely understand that both of these artists are gay, no problem, completely cool. It just got to a point. It was just like, yeah, because I told y'all the same thing when it dealt with like Old Town Road. I'm like, yo, Old Town Road was like, yo, Lil Nas X, like, yo, that's that dude he's cold. And before and when Old Town Road, when that was at its height, I sat up there and went back and listened to Lil Nas X before he became like mainstream. And I'm like, yo, he actually got some decent music. I'm like, yo, this man got some actual heart and some emotion here. I'm like, yo, where is this at? And then we went from the beginning of Lil Nas X to the height, which was in a sense the start of the height, which was Old Town Road, and then we got everything else. I'm like, I don't know what just happened. I don't know what just happened. Like I said, that music society out there is crazy. How it just does something, I don't know. What was that? Shalaya said, let's keep it all the way funky. We are the progenitors of all the music genres. I mean, yeah. But I'm just saying the best music that they were doing, talking about the white folks directly out here, alternative rock. That was it. Like I was listening to that heavily. It was on rotation, like no problems, no qualms. I would, sit up to have a how old I am. You would have a CD player, or even in some instances, a tape player if I couldn't afford a CD player. So you would have that. But back in my day, we used to have the good old LimeWire, FrostWire, BearShare, Napster. We had all of those, old as the kids call them today. We had all of those old apps. We had those old websites, that we would go to, try to torrent or seed, a lot of our music. And if you were lucky enough, if you wasn't getting Rickrolled or Hasselhoffed, you were getting hit up with the Soldier Boy, right? Like I said, great times. Kids of today would know nothing about that. Nothing about that at all. D Money says Sam Smith took a hard left somewhere down the road. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Yeah, I do not. That is not the same. The same Sam Smith from like earlier on. I'm talking about Sam Smith when he had weight. Let me see. What did Sonny say? I feel Nas X was used to diffuse my energy. I'm so lost. I'm confused. What was it? Sham said Blink 182 is trash live. Dang. I mean, well, they are older. It happens. It happens. CP said I just said that because they had a lot of hits. Yeah, Napster. Yep. LOL. I remember all those apps. Yep. Napster was OG. Yep. That's a class one. Now that's what I call music. 24. Yeah, that's what it was. You had now that's what I call music, and you also had Wow. Both of those were classic. They would have those. Technically, it's not. At one point in time, it used to be every year, and then it became every few months, because they went from pop to 80s rock. They had R&B. I think they might have had, so they pretty much encompassed everything, which was crazy. They literally encompassed everything. It was almost like Kids Bop. It's crazy work. Yeah, I said I'm an 80s baby, so we had different white folk songs, but yeah, they did their thing. Yeah. See, for the 80s era, you talking about rock. 70s, 80s, that was more rock. And they also had the ballads. Back then, if you were in rock and you did a ballad, people were they were clowning you. Back then, like I remember when you had some people that, well, technically not in a sense actually remember, because I wasn't really in a sense physically there, but going back and looking at the artists specifically talk about those time periods and how certain things were looked down upon. Ballads were one of those things. But then once it became popular, right, to quote unquote do the songs as a white guy, to be in a sense vulnerable and to be talking about your emotions and all this other type of stuff. Then the other white artists started doing the same thing. I'm like, ain't this some clown work right here? Y'all just literally clown people for doing this. And now y'all want to sit up there and pull up to the scene. Like I said, shout out to Meatloaf. That's somebody who don't get the credit that they deserve. For the longest time possible, Meatloaf was disrespected in that industry, and he didn't really start getting his flowers up until later, like later. And I'm like, that is crazy. That is crazy. But like I said, it is what it is. D Money said LimeWire and a 100 pack of blank CDs. Yeah, I used to go up to the CVS, and I used to do that. And that was also back in the day when I was recording Dragon Ball Z on VHS, because I didn't know when they were ever going to show Dragon Ball Z. In my mind frame, during that time period, I felt like things were limited and you're never going to get this chance ever again. So how a lot of people's like, yo, move like it's your last day or your last time seeing this. I was literally recording Dragon Ball Z on Toonami. Whenever it was, as soon as it came on, I had the VCR set, I had it timed, and as soon as like what was it? Was it 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock? Because they had different time periods. But whenever Dragon Ball Z was coming on, bam, you would hear that tape recording. And I would, sit up there and either be watching it, or if I was playing basketball, I would come in after and basically, like watch the episode or whatever. So, like I said, it was crazy times. AOL, can't even get more. It's AOL 4.0. Let me tell you, I had so much history from that time period that I could have set up there and showed off. I had the classic AOL discs. I'm talking about, I think I had discs from like AOL 1.0. I had Netscape and a lot of other stuff. Like I said, stuff you won't even actually be able to see. Like a lot of people who are content creators, they can't even, in a sense, I'm talking about like the newer generation, they can't even show you a lot of that stuff because they don't even know about it. Like that is history. That is, some history right there. Y'all said I don't like big hair bands, but yes. Yep. Enya and Sade. Yeah, Sade, yeah, Smooth Operator. That was that's it's a good song right there. A lot of songs from Sade actually. You said Hoops Think? Yeah. Yo, let me tell you, there's so many artists. If I were to hear the song, I could sit up there and tell you. But it's like just thinking directly off of the top right now, everything is like water. It's not directly in a box where I could just be like, okay, this. Can't even do that. I said Google Dials, yeah. Pink said I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. Yep. Straight dial-up connection. Yeah. I had DSL connection. I remember when I first, and a lot of people won't even understand what it's like to have DSL connection back then, where the modem for the connection was like so small. You had the phone cord that would go directly into the wall. And then from that little tiny modem that they gave you, you would then put the other phone cord directly into the back of the Xbox or whatever game system it was. Crazy stuff now. Crazy stuff. Like you don't even need that no more. You don't need none of those cords directly into the back of the systems unless you want to. You just, in a sense, hook up the Wi-Fi and that's it. That is it. What was it? Sham said, LOL, I hate it when I would get calls and a line would drop. Oh yeah, that was classic too. If you were on AOL and somebody was trying to call your phone, and for my grandma that was around during the time, she would always have my aunt that would call from New Jersey. And whenever I was online, she would call around, I say like 7 or 8, and they would be online for about probably 3+ hours just sitting up there just talking. I'm like, man, what are y'all getting offline? I'm trying to get back online to sit up there and watch like some anime, read like some books and stuff. And I think I also had some internet games as well too. I forgot. Was it Mugen? Was it Mugen back then? I forgot, but yeah, the AOL chat rooms, that was a spot. That was a place to be back then. That was a place to be. Y'all said, well, damn, Seiji, I'm old. So before DSL, there was dial-up. No. No, trust me. I was there. My first computer was a Windows 95. I had Miss DOS. Trust me. Trust me, I'm certified out here. I had me a Miss DOS way back when. It should have been, 90, 95, 96. Yeah. So trust me, I was there. Trust me, I was there at the forefront where the internets were just starting. Like I said again, a lot of the younger generation don't know nothing about that. Don't know nothing about that. Like I said, we literally we watched this from like baby steps, infancy. It's still realistically internet wise, it's still in an infancy in a sense. Realistically, it's not really where it's going to be. Like I can see it. It's not there yet. It's getting there. But now with a lot of what was it, Blackwell from Nvidia, along with the what was it, like the terabyte internet connection that Japan was talking about. Like I said, there's a lot of things that are in the works at the moment that will have it progress at a much faster pace. Like the rate of which technology is about to move is going to be something of the likes that a lot of people have never seen and not ready for at all. It is going, when it happens, it is going to be like a bomb dropped. It, like, people are not going to know what to do. People are going to be going mad. Let me tell you. As I remember, before Bluetooth, we had infrared. Yeah. Yep. I like the infrared connection, because that's what you would also use on Game Boy Colors in order to transfer like data and Pokemon and stuff. I remember when you were able to actually do that on Game Boy Colors, where you no longer needed the cord to link one Game Boy to another. And I remember somebody stole my cord. I don't know who that was, but I hope your shoes are untied or you slip and fall. Like I said, I don't know who I don't know who stole that cord. I know somebody did it, and it was back in school. It was back at school, and you know who you are. But like I said, I hope the moment in time that you got a great feast and a dinner, you go for the salt and pepper, and the lids fall off. I hope that happens to you. I hope that happens to you. Just saying. I'm still mad about that to this day. K-pop said, "Yo, LimeWire, no, they had the other stuff in files. Thought you were downloading music." Oh yeah. I know what you're referring to. Yeah. See, I did not run into. I ran into other things. I didn't necessarily run into that. I ran it. Well, if you're old enough, I ran into stuff that you would find on, like, what was it, like Rotten and some of the other sites directly out there. So it would be more so that versus what you were talking about, K5. Sham said, "Swear my ears bled every time I connected. That static was crazy." Ah, yeah, yeah. As said you remember before Bluetooth, yeah, infrared. If you picked up the phone, your parents would be, yeah, they would. Y'all said DSL was a major upgrade when it dropped with dial up. If someone picked up the phone, it would knock you offline. Yep. They really got us with those phones. That's facts. Sham said, my first PC game was Funhouse based on the show. It was in a DOS format. My first video game was, well, technically they were on the actual system. I forgot what the one game was called. It was a game with like a cat and a mouse, and basically you were the mouse, and you used I think, what was it, WASD in order to move the mouse around, and you had to basically get away from the cats. So you had to make sure the cats did not catch you. So if a cat was coming near you, you would have to move these blocks in order to put the cat to sleep, so that they would be there. And then as the levels progressed, you would have more cats. And it would get to a certain point where you would technically run out of blocks, and the cats would, in a sense, get you. Then you, of course, you had Solitaire, you had Minesweeper. But the very first video game that I, in a sense, had was Load Runner. Second game was Dr. Radiaki. I borrowed Mech Warrior from my uncle. Along with Need for Speed. Second game that I own on PC was, I think, Math. I want to say it should have been Math Blaster, along with Rayman, the very first Rayman. Great games, great games. Back in the days of floppy disk, kids don't even know what that is. Oh yeah, Duke Nukem, yeah. Macintosh, black screen, green characters. Yeah, I said, Lord, y'all bringing back memories. We actually came a long way in a short time, and we aren't privy to what they already have unreleased. Yeah. CP said N64 Rumble packs. Oh yeah, that's classic. That is classic. Yo, shout out to Ricky. I actually had a Sega, and I wish, and that's a classic too. Well, I think, did I get that back to him? I think I did. I think he had the Mega adapter. He got that back. But I had a Sega Genesis fully working, and I had Vector Man and all these other games, and I had the Mega adapter because my boy Ricky, he let me borrow his game because I think something happened to his Sega Genesis, and I had the Mega adapter, and I play, I think, what was it, Sonic 3? I think it was, whichever one, it should have been Sonic 3, whichever one had Knuckles on it, and because you need the Mega adapter for it. And then I also had the Dragon Ball Z game because that was import, because the Japanese Sega Genesis is different from the America version. So in order to play Japanese games, you needed to have the Mega adapter. So you needed basically a cartridge already inserted, black cartridge inserted. Then on top, you will put the imported cartridge and you will play the game. It would almost look like a little Lego stack in a sense. Sham said copper lines still exist today. They should still connect the houses to them in case of a disaster. Going straight air is stupid. Yeah, but they're going straight air just so that they got more control over how people basically communicate. That's, again, another reason why we don't have cell phones as well. So it's more control over how it is that we can talk and get into contact and all this other type of stuff. Let me see. Remember when you had to go to Circuit City or Best Buy and read out the book for cheat codes? Yo, that's what I used to do for I had CVS. CVS was right down the street. When I was back in high school and during the early days, I would go directly to CVS and I would have my basketball as my chair and I would sit right there and I would just read the magazine. I would just go through the magazine and I would just read. Like, I kid you not. At one point, I sat there so long reading the magazine that it went from afternoon. It was probably, I want to say I stayed there reading that magazine probably about a good hour, at least a good 45 to an hour. It should have been either Expert Gamer or maybe PlayStation Magazine. PlayStation Magazine was a little bit harder to read because some of them would come with the disc, so they were already enclosed. But because people wanted to get the disc and didn't want to spend $10 on the magazine, you would have some of them that were already ripped open. So, all of that good stuff. But yeah, I remember those code books and everything too. I also used to have Game Shark back in the day. Kids don't know nothing about that. It's classic. Sam said, I remember having to call my mom collect to pay the phone bill. Oh yeah. What was it? 1010. What was it? 10-10-20? 10-10-220 or something like that. I forgot, but yeah, that was how to make cheaper collect calls or something like that. I remember that. And that was a commercial. I remember. Circuit City, yep. Circuit City and Best Buy, yep. Out there in Oak Park, there was a Circuit City, and I was hyped. Like, whenever my mom was like, yo, we're going to Circuit City or Best Buy, I was hyped. I'm like, oh, I'm about to go to the game set. The same thing I would do, like, technically back in the day, Toys R Us was the spot. That was the original before we had, I'm sorry, let me rewind that back. You had KB Toys, you had Funko Land, and then you had Toys R Us. Those were the main three spots that you would go for a lot of stuff, especially back during the times of like the Nintendo 64. Oh, man, I'm telling y'all, at any moment in time throughout your day, I would recommend you go online and watch the videos that they have of retro, right? Where they would have people that filmed during the times of the 2000s and the 90s. And you would see how busy a lot of places were. You would see I'm talking about back in the day when you would go to the mall it was shoulder to shoulder when it dealt with trying to like go into a mall. Now it's like you can pretty much play football in the mall. That's like you don't really got people in there no more. Because you know you got the whole thing with online stores. Shout out to Northland. That was, you know, one of the main malls of America at a point in time. Shout out to Northland. But yeah, man, I remember those days. And back during my day, Northland Mall had an outdoor part where you would actually, because the way that they had the mall built, it wasn't enclosed. So when you would come directly to the mall, it would almost be like you're outside, inside at the same time. So if it actually, like, if leaves were falling or it was snowing, you would see that directly on like the walkway. It used to be, I think, if I remember correctly, it should have been like brick, like red brick or something like that down there. Somebody from Detroit remembers. Y'all said, man, I love Rayman. Yeah, same here. Same here. Oregon Trail. I think I remember that. The only educational game I ever played was Age of Empires. Funny thing is, we got Age of Empires on Xbox. I also remember being locked out of the house because I played video games too long. They didn't let me back into the street. Game back on. You said, man, now I'm over here, retro games. Thanks, y'all. Hey, that's how I'm telling you, that's how I be. That's how I be on a lot of these live streams that I do. And again, I still got videos to show y'all. Sometimes it be some segues that happen. You know. CP said gotta keep that meat supply up. Yep. Pink said Game Informer was my go-to magazine. Yeah. Let me tell y'all something. Back during those days of like the early 2000s, that's when game journalism was actually game journalism. That's when like the game journalists actually cared about reviewing a game, doing deep dives, and actually playing games. Now it's just like it's whatever. And I'm like, that's a shame. Like you used to be able to trust you know, a lot of these game journalists directly out here. Like if they actually told you like a game was like it was good, it was actually good. If a game was difficult, it was difficult. If a game was not on the radar, it really wasn't on the radar. Like the stuff was, it was in some 90 percentile type of correctiveness, or you know, rightness. Much love, respect, and appreciation to relevant to for the $10 dono to the channel. Again, my apologies for not being able to see the super sticker directly up there because I'm using, you know, Streamlard, but StreamYard. So, you know, much love, respect, and appreciation. Much love, much love, much love. D Money said I had Game Genie. Yep. K5 said, did y'all have Kmart up there? Yeah, we had Kmart. We had Kmart and Super K. We had, I think it was like normal Kmart, you had Big K, and then you had Super K. It was weird. It was almost like Super Saiyan transformations. It was crazy. So you had base form Kmart. You had Super Saiyan Kmart with no, I'm sorry. You had Ultra, which was Big K, and then you had Super Kmart, right? So you had base Saiyan Goku, you had false Super Saiyan Goku, and then you had Super Saiyan. CP said everybody had a Sega guy in their crew just for Tekken. Yeah. Revelant said I was your mom taking my child to the mall, Toys R Us? Wait, I'm confused on that. I'm so confused on that. He was like, I was your mom taking my child to the mall, Toys R Us. Sham said Kmart was all over Midwest. Namor said make those. Wait, what? Kmart kind of scrolled up. Kmart was all over the Midwest. Yeah, Namor X said those Latino/Asian stores shut down. Fam, shop online. Yeah. CP said the N64 era was short but sweet. True. Y'all said I live in Colorado. Kmart was around when I was a kid more than Walmart. Pink said I learned about Dead Space through a small summary from Game Informer magazine. Oh yeah. Sham said N64 a ton of games. I loved it. Sham said I don't anything beats PS1 in the amount of. Oh yeah. PlayStation dealing with games, you had technically I want to put both PlayStation and 360 directly up there. Both of those systems had a ton of games. Like I said, the play. Oh, I'm sorry. The PS2, because some of those. Wait, were you able to? Did we have backwards compatibility during that time? I don't think we did. But I say PlayStation 64, PS2, 360 era. That was like golden gaming right there. Golden gaming right there. Golden. It was classic. Relevant love. That was a wait. That just threw me off. Wait, Revelant. What was that a typo? Because that threw me off. That comment threw me completely off. I was like, am I misreading the comment? It's like maybe it was like you might have been using speech to talk or something like that. Like I'm not sure, but let me know. What was it? Sham said, yeah, PS2 had it. Yeah, we lost backwards compatibility with PS3. Yeah, we probably did. We probably did. We probably did. But yeah, it's coming back though. We technically have backwards. Well, at least for Xbox, we have backwards compatibility. When it comes to at least a lot of the games that came out on, let's say Xbox One, 360, and even Xbox. So we're getting there. I don't know really what to say when it deals with PlayStation. I have a PlayStation, but the backwards compatibility on there is lacking severely. I'm just gonna be honest. Yo, Shinshi, what is up? What is up? Says Sega Dreamcast was the golden. The reason I didn't put Sega in there is because Sega was ahead of its time. Sega by far, Sega was ahead of its time with everything that they were doing. It's crazy. Like they were 100% ahead of their time. And I still to this day I love the Dreamcast and I miss the Dreamcast. Crazy. It is 100%. Wait, I'm confused. Wait, is it? Wait, is that actually you though? I'm just trying to. I'm just trying to figure out because that's throwing me. I'm trying to figure out if that's actually you in the comment section because I know you had like different names before. That was like that's just like throwing me off because you. Let me see. Because technically, if that is you, I just wrote you. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. that's what I'm trying to figure. I'm like, if that is actually my mom, I just wrote you a message, so you can like respond to that message and then come back into the live stream. My mom has been here. Shan was at Ella was at really Sedgies. Okay, yeah, because I was about to say, I'm like, that doesn't even make any sense. I'm like, I just had to send like a message real quick. Because I like I said, I was no, because the funniest thing is my mom, she's actually been in my live stream before. Like she's actually been. Do I have her as a moderator? I think I might, but I think she forgot what her channel was. So yeah. But yeah, my mom has been here. She's been here. Like she's been here. Yeah, well, Richard, I don't even know what you. That's Angie Stone. I don't. That just doesn't make any sense. But whatever. Wait, let me see. Let me see something real quick. Okay. Yeah, because just responded was like, no, she's not in live streams. So yeah, because I had to sit up there, I had to really check real quick. I had to sit up there and check. But yeah. But so again, we kind of like segued away from the actual like topic of the live stream. So let's get back to the videos. I think I got like a few more. Oh yeah, I got a lot more. Actually, I got a lot more. So let's go to the next one.
Supervisor just called me like, yo, I got a question to ask you and it's kind of personal. And now I'm baffled. I'm like, what's up? He was like, do you remember using a bathroom on one of your phone calls? Here I go lying my ass off like, using a bathroom? Nah, I wouldn't do that. He like, that's crazy because I just listened to this call and it sounded like you was in a bathroom. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I be in the bathroom all the time on the phone, stomach bubbling, going crazy. I set the computer up on the sink and I just be putting the phone on mute. And I start work at 8 a.m. So we talking like 2 or 3 times a week. But I stick to my lie anyway and he proceeds to play the phone call. I wasn't on mute. You heard everything, every bubble, every fart, everything. You even hear the toilet flushing mad aggressively. Like I was there putting them on hold, struggling for my life and coming back to the phone like nothing was going on. Mind you, the person on the phone wasn't even saying nothing about it. And he said the manager sent him the call, so I don't even know how many people heard me on the toilet. He was like, I know we working from home, but we gotta remember not to get too comfortable.
So yeah, so this is the reason why I told people before that if at a moment in time that you work directly from home, you have to make sure that you have yourself muted, because if you don't, that is going to be a problem. That is 100% going to be a problem and issue, as she ended up finding out. And I've actually seen another video like that before where there was an instance of something like that taking place with somebody. I think it was either at school. No. Somebody was doing a there was like a Zoom work meeting. I don't know how people end up doing this, because you can actually just cut off your camera. What is the best way to sit up there and basically place this? So in a nicer method, there was a woman getting some work done. A lot of work done, and you could clearly, the mic was muted, but you can clearly see, half of what was, going on. And gotta shut off my alarm. And everybody was just kind of shocked. I'm not sure whoever the lead was for that Zoom call. I'm not sure why they didn't just like kick that person out of the call instead of just leaving them there. Like, that was just crazy. I'm like, that's just, I don't know how you do that. I don't, like I said, I don't know what people doing today, man. I don't know what people doing today. Sham said, I don't feel like going to the store. I feel like I got hit my bus. I'll rest and go later and see if I feel stronger. Yeah. Sham said, can get to the point where we don't tell of our business. I don't want to know your information. Rabbit D Money laughing. Rabbit said, this is why I don't touch people in their phones. Since she said, what a pig, Sham said, you can put yourself on a way and you should be able to take your stuff into the bathroom. What if it fails and it falls in the sink or the toilet? Oh yeah. Yo, it's crazy. Yo, let me tell you, back during the 360 days, that used to be the stuff that would take place. Guys would just be like, all right, we in a Modern Warfare lobby. The dude would be like, all right, I'll be right back. But forgetting that he's taking a whole headset and a controller with him. And during that time, you didn't, in a sense, have like a mute button, right? So you just have volume control, and you weren't able to, take the mic directly off of the headset because it was all in one. And you just hearing people like go to the bathroom, And we just sitting up there for guys. We just sitting up there rolling. I'm like, yo, you serious? Like, here's man peeing in the toilet. I'm like, bro. I'm like, yo, your mic is still on. Like, unplug your mic. Or then you might have somebody trying to hurry up and run and trying to race the lobby. Be like, all right, we got about like 30 seconds or a minute before the next or the match lobby fills up. I'll be right back. And then they'll sit up there and like go, you just just hear a whole bunch of work done, getting done in the toilet, dropping the kids off at the pool. I'm like, man, what did you eat? It was some hard fought battles. Let me tell you, people were fighting some tough battles back then. Tough battles, man. It's crazy. Rabbit said, this is why I don't touch people on their phones. How many people got booty bacteria on their phones? I mean, yeah. I mean, but that's also everywhere too, which is the funny part. The main habit that I said that people should do as well is just, wipe down your phone. Like, don't matter if you got Lysol wipes, whatever. Just, every once in a while, wipe down the phone. Get rid of food particulates or whatever. Heard of that pH drum roll? D Buddy said, they taking you to the bathroom with them. Yeah. Let me say, classic days, man. That was a classic old school, 360 days. Even into the Xbox One era, because some people will use Connect, and you can still hear them from the bathroom like a mile away. Just crazy, just hitting the water. I'm like, man, it's tough. But let's go to the next. Sham said people are nasty. Let's go to the next video.
How long should we let him sleep?
Got that cop on the job. Man got caught slipping.
Yeah, wake your ass up. What's wrong with you?
Man, do me a favor, get away from my car.
Don't touch me, bro.
Get away from the car.
You mad because you got caught sleeping?
Man, I'm on meal.
Don't touch me. It don't matter.
Go get away.
Don't touch me.
Get away.
I'm on the sidewalk.
Get away.
What's your name? Why are you approaching me like that?
Man, get away. Go.
Don't touch
Go.
me, bro. What's wrong with you?
Get off the street.
I was just on the sidewalk.
Okay.
You pushed me off the sidewalk. Now you telling me to go off the street. Stop touching me, bro. I'm not detained.
Let's go.
Stop touching me, bro. What's wrong with him? He mad because he got caught sleeping in the car and he want to touch me. Why are you telling me what to do?
Let's go.
What's your name? Give me a card.
Take a picture.
Give me a card, bro.
I don't have one. You can take a picture.
So you want to go hands on? Your body cam is not on. You got caught sleeping in the car and now you touching me? So give me a card, bro.
Right there. You have enough time.
As soon as you touch me, I need your card, bro.
Okay. Take a picture.
And of course, they're going to back him up unlawfully. You touching me unlawfully. What reason do you have to touch me?
What do you mean?
Why are you touching me?
Why are you recording me? For what reason?
Because it's my duty to. It's called the Right to Know Act.
For what reason?
Because you're sleeping in the car.
I'm on me.
It's my job. I'm a journalist.
That's your job?
Yeah.
So harass cops?
I'm harassing you?
Yeah.
Did I say anything to you?
What do you mean?
Did I say anything to you?
I wake up and you're creeping like recording.
I'm standing there recording you. Did I say anything to you?
Like a loser, bro. What are you talking about?
And you sleeping in the car on duty like a loser. That's some crazy work. Let me tell you something. And again, ain't this about the third video within his live stream that dealing with cops? I think this is about the third video, or at least representative talking about cops. And again, this is people's tax dollars directly at work, where you got a cop. This dude was able to roll up on a cop. This is obviously, of course, New York. Cop is just stone cold sleep in the car. I'm like, ain't you supposed to be patrolling? Ain't you supposed to be driving around, stopping some type of crimes or something in progress? Or at least move around, go get some donuts and some coffees. The normal stereotype. Go do that. Why? What is this, brother? What is this? And then you got the nerve, like once you got embarrassed and caught, you want to sit up there and get out of the car. You want to start putting hands on somebody and trying to throw the dude to the ground. That's some crazy work right there. And then out of nowhere, and this is what I be talking about. And then all of a sudden, right, after this setup there happened, he got embarrassed, right? He's here, and this dude threw up like the bass signal or some type of madness, right? And then this officer, again, I don't know where he's from. I know he's from somewhere. It probably ain't here. He rolls up on the scene from out of nowhere, right? And then after that takes place, you start to sit up there and have a few more officers pull up to the scene and show themselves. They probably skipped a little bit quicker though. But you had other officers that showed directly up, and I'm like, that don't make no sense. It was literally at one point in time. Let me see, just let it play. At a point in time, he basically got like 4 cops in a sense around him, and I'm like, so where are y'all at the moment in time? Why can't y'all show up like this when a crime is being committed? That makes me really wonder. I'm like, do they actually have criminals, or is it that you have a lot of undercover cops committing the crimes to make it seem like crime is actually taking place? Which one is it? Because it's a little bit weird to me how these cops, all 4 cops, could just show up out of nowhere. But when somebody's yelling for help, when somebody's getting mugged in New York, when somebody's getting pushed onto the train tracks in New York, when anything's happening in New York, you never see these many cops just like pop up out the blue. That's crazy. That's crazy. That is diabolical. He said, let me guess, these are the lazy New York City cops? Yes. 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 And like, let me tell you how crazy it is. Like, one time I went to New York, right? And a car I was in was driving through traffic, right? Got stopped for, I guess like a light or whatever. Cop sat up there and no, it wasn't because of the light. It was because of I think it was like a tail light. Because I was thinking about traffic light. It was a tail light. It was, I think it was like out or whatever, right? So cops, I think, either let off with like a warning. I don't think a ticket was involved, right? They were nice enough to do that. Fine, no problem. And again, when cars get stopped and whatnot, other cops know they be radioing and letting other people know all this other type of good stuff. Kid you not, before we were able to hit the freeway, another New York cop pulled us over for the exact same thing. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, y'all just playing around now. Y'all just doing whatever. Y'all just want to, harass people. Y'all just think stuff is, fun and game. Like I said, man, I don't know what's going on with these with them cops in New York, dog. I don't know what to tell people. Shout out to everybody in New York though, but I don't know what to tell you about those cops out there, man. Crazy work. CP said drooling on a door panel. Yo, that's crazy. That is crazy. Bungani, what is up? What is up? What is up? Drop my phone, my bad. Much love, respect, and appreciation. What is up? What is up? Namor X said it's easy to tell who's FBA for me based on some factors like beard style, that and or that's not an FBA style for the most part. Yeah. Radio said, meanwhile, they got people smashing windows and stealing jewelry in broad daylight. Facts. Yo, SEIJIHITO, what is up? What is up? Said it's not just New York cops. Bay Area cops are just like this. Well, the funny thing is, I've never done reports on Bay Area cops. Now, I've done videos on Los Angeles cops and everything that goes on with that. Now, I haven't specifically, done anything on Bay Area, but I believe it. Trust me, I believe it. I believe it. Yo, Ty is in the building. He said he has arrived at the 2-hour and 17-minute mark in the live stream. What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? What is going on? What is going on? Let me see. Was she 20 with the cam still on? Yeah, I don't know what that woman was doing in the previous video. I don't know what was happening. Don't know, but she sounded like she was probably from New York. Somewhere on the East Coast. She was from. Probably New York. Let me see. Do I want to save his video for last? Or do I want to have that as the next one? Matter of fact, I say the other brother's video for last. I say that one for last. We'll go to this young woman here.
When you hear numbers like white people killed 60% of the African population, they killed 90% of the Native American population, 40% of the Indian population, it sounds like they were just some fierce motherfuckers that just could not be beat, right? I hate to bring it to you, but like 90% of that was fucking disease. They were some nasty individuals. And it wasn't shit like, oh, pneumonia. No, it was shit like cholera. That has to do with fecal matter. Shit like the measles, smallpox. Smallpox killed a lot of Native Americans and also a lot of Mayan and Aztec people. The same thing with like the Tainos and the Caribbean, like a lot of their like L's and I guess you could say their casualties in war was because they were nasty as shit. They wouldn't wash their hands, they wouldn't cover their mouths, they were not bathing, but sitting their funky asses every fucking where. Interesting. And it wasn't just those I mentioned. It was hookworm infection, malaria, typhus. Now, historically, you'll read that smallpox was actually spread intentionally. There's a famous story about some colonizers sending a Native American reservation a bunch of gifts, and they had smallpox rubbed all over it. It was all throughout the gifts. So whenever they use this blanket or put this jacket on or do anything with these gifts, they would get smallpox. So smallpox was spread intentionally. But the other shit, they were just walking around with, touching shit, infecting shit. Like, oh my God, we give these motherfuckers way too much credit. And we really not laughing at them enough, because how on earth could you be so dirty? And come to find out, a lot of y'all still don't take baths every day. That's kind of crazy. But let me hush. Yeah, just a little history fact for y'all.
That's crazy. Let me see something. Hold on. So they were literally sending gifts of smallpox to reservations. Wow. Chemical warfare at its finest. Chemical warfare at its finest. That is diabolical. Wow. No, D-Money, I know. Trust me, you was like the Black Plague was a real thing. Oh no, trust and believe. I know. I 100% understand. Because back during about 2, 3, 4 years ago, when the United States, all over the airwaves, mainstream media was like, yo, Americans need to wash their hands. They were not talking to Black Americans. I just want to be very clear for anybody in the back that doesn't understand, because y'all like to make us the poster child for everything. They were not directing that message to us. Like when JD Vance is sitting up there telling Americans, I want you to have more kids. He's not talking to Black Americans. He's talking to only one demographic. So like I said before, it'd be like that. It's crazy work out here, Crazy. Sam said it was worse than bad hygiene. These people literally will poop themselves and not wash for months. They wonder why they had these transmitted diseases. Yep. Radio said, funny thing, I just posted a future post about what's this just said about the Mongols on my community page. Great minds. Let me tell you, great minds. Now, this is just in case people don't know anything about the UK. This is, I kid you not, when I just found this out, and I didn't know that this was an actual real thing. I want y'all to listen to this real quick, and then I'm going to read some information to you.
What's she doing?
Oh, wait, that's not the one. Hold on. Wait. That's not. Is that? I didn't put the video up. You got to be kidding me. Wait. I didn't put that up? Word? That was the wrong one. Let me. Video. I think, is that the last one? Yeah. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Let me put this up.
I live in England, and I just got sent a letter in the mail saying that an officer's coming to visit me at my house. And you're probably thinking, Dallin, what?
Yeah, what's up, Shrills? What's up?
Well, it fucking turns out that I am. Why you're being visited? To ensure you have a fucking TV license, and this includes Amazon. You need a fucking license to watch TV. What the fuck kind of rule is that? You can't even watch Netflix on your laptop without needing a license. 170 fucking pounds? Are they taking the piss? Like, Jesus fuck, there's a cost of living crisis. We got wars. We got fucking knife crime and 20,000 phones getting snatched every 14 seconds. And they're coming after me for fucking not paying for a license to watch fucking Game of Thrones while I'm having a rip. What the fuck is wrong with this country?
Funny thing is, I thought I did a better job at editing that. Obviously, I didn't. I failed somewhere. So, if people would like to support this channel, this live stream, you can very easily sit up there and, 9 cents a day will, help set you on this way to becoming a better content creator. Let me tell you, when I thought that before I did this live stream, I made sure to edit out a lot of the curse words there. I kid you not, I really felt that I did it. I thought I did a great job. I made sure to cross those directly out. And as we can clearly see, that's not what happened. But this man is livid. He is livid directly about this. Again, what is up, Trills? What is going on? What is going on? What's going on? Much love, respect, and appreciation. We got both of the brothers here from the old school. We got both Trills and K5 in the building. So let me read this to you guys about what I found out about the UK, right? So this is what he's talking about. To legally watch television in the United Kingdom, I don't know why I said it like that. To legally watch television in the United Kingdom, you need a TV license, which is required to watch any live television program, regardless of the channel, device you use, or whether you watch a traditional television or streaming online. Essentially, if you watch a program as it's being broadcasted, you need a license. Key points about the TV license. Live TV is key. You only need a license if you watch live TV, meaning programs as they are broadcast, not catching up service unless it's on BBC iPlayer. Next, any device applies. You need a license to watch live TV on any device, including smartphones, computers, tablets, or gaming consoles. That's crazy. BBC iPlayer needs a license. Even if you only watch BBC iPlayer, you need a TV license. Check eligibility. Certain groups, like those over 75 receiving pension credit, may be eligible for a free TV license. I did not know. I was today years old when I realized that in the United Kingdom, you need a license to watch television. Are you kidding me? And the police can literally come to your house randomly to check to see if you have a TV license. This is insane. That is crazy. That is 100. Brother, what is going on? So you mean even if I got an Xbox, what, you still gonna be rolled because I got a TV in the house? You're gonna be rolled up to see if I got a TV? What you gonna be doing? Checking the apps on my Xbox? But oh, you got YouTube. Oh, you watch it. Oh, you got a TV license? Word? Wow. Yo, that's criminal. That is criminal. Y'all are getting robbed. Y'all are getting robbed. I don't know who. No, Big Boy was like, so if it's recorded, you're still no. The way that they worded it, you need a TV license irregardless. From everything that I'm basically to understand for what I just read, you need a TV license irregardless. You can just have if you got a computer, a monitor, and you have an Xbox hooked up, you still need a TV license. Like, what is even happening out here? Now I understand why everybody just goes outside. Why you got all of these pubs, you got these clubs, and because people can't stay inside and basically watch nothing because you charging them. So it's like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go outside. That's crazy. Wow. That is crazy. What was it? Rabbit said, I hate that I can't pay Amazon with Google Play credits. Yeah. Luis Lane, what is up? What is up? You said there are fewer advertisers on British television and no advertisements on the BBC. Well, y'all need to change that. I don't know. Y'all got to do something about that. Because that is crazy. That is crazy. Oh, that is insane, brother. And he said, like, you got to have, in order to have a TV license, you got to, what is that, 170 pounds? That is insane. That is 100 and anything pounds. That is insane. Like, again, to have a brother, I can't even make sense of that. Like, I understand that they don't got advertisers, but that's the British government. They gotta do something about that. But more so, the people gotta do something about that. The people gotta, have an outcry, directly about that. Yeah, I'm skipping that one. The Jomo said, correction, unless the TV enforcers have a warrant, they can't force entry. The TV officers invite police to scare you. Yeah, that's still crazy, though. That is still crazy. D-Money said, don't get caught with an expired TV license. Automatic fine is in. Yeah, it probably is. The Jomo said, correction, the main purpose of a TV license is to fund the BBC, as BBC does not have commercial. Yeah. Like I said, I get it. I'm still not agreeing with it. Like, they need to pull money from somewhere else. Because if they like I said, it's crazy. But like I said, this is why I understand that a lot of people are outside. This is why outside is outside over there in the UK. People are just running to and from. People are going to pubs. People getting fish and chips. People, sitting out by, the water and going to the parks and all this. This is why I understand that why people are going out, from sun up to sundown in clubs. They can't do like Americans, just be in a house in a sense, because license. And who wants to pay $100? If you're gonna pay $179, you might as well just go out somewhere. Just saying, it's crazy work. Tariq, I don't got no problem with people having a certain type of religious faith, but please don't be spamming that here. You got one more good time to spam, and I'm just gonna block you. I'm sorry. It's just gonna happen. Like I said, it's gonna just let you know. Don't be one of those guys. Don't do it to yourself. The gentleman said, on the bright side, health services in the UK is free to an extent. I mean, yeah, that's true. That is true. That is true. Now, we're gonna move on to something else a little bit more shocking, such as this.
What do you need?
I'm sorry, I didn't realize that we were supposed to sit here, especially since you were behind me, so now you want to go ahead? I'm just going to block you, and now you're not going to go anywhere today until I get served. How's that?
Nobody's answering, so how is this my fault?
It says till 2 o'clock. Maybe if you'd roll your window down, you'd hear it.
Okay, so...
Up here who don't hear that message because you're busy playing on your phone.
Okay, so what do you have to do here? What do you have to do here if it's open at 2? Why are you here?
Because I'm here to pick something up, too.
Okay, so if it don't open till 2. Okay, so if it don't open at 2, then how the hell are you gonna pick up your medicine?
Easy.
Answer me that.
Easy. I'm right in front of that thing. How are you gonna get it?
Okay, can you get off my car? Thank you, sir.
Actually, it's ma'am, but you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Like I said.
Sir? Oh, really? Sir? Sir? You want to keep saying sir? You want to keep saying sir? Piece of. You want to keep saying sir? Are you a Trump voter?
What are you gonna do?
Are you a Trump voter?
No, I'm not. But really? What the fuck are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
You sound like a MAGA.
But you touching my like you own it. Do you own it? Do you own it? Okay, but why are you touching my stuff?
I'm not touching.
Why are you touching my stuff?
I'm not touching anything.
Clearly, you was just. I have you on camera. I have you. Bro, I'm not.
I am a man.
I'm not playing. Get stuck in the car. I am not playing with you.
Oh, you're not playing. What are you gonna do?
Bro.
Oh, yeah.
Bro. Get back in your car. I'm not playing with you.
I mean, that's not. It was a little bit technically more. But that's the individual there. I'm just gonna say individual for social media purposes because a lot of people are highly sensitive out here. This individual, this very great individual, decided to step up to a black woman's car because she was waiting up until I guess the pharmacy opened. And then this individual was like, hey, you're basically blocking. So now I'm going to block you in because you're just sitting here. But if it doesn't open until 2 and she's waiting for them to open, it's completely fine and dandy. Everybody else is going to be waiting too because it's not open. Like, this is insane. But like I said, I try to tell people, I am a man. Say it one more time. Call me sir one more time. That video will forever be classic. I don't know what was going on. You got the bell bottoms on. It was like the tight shirt with like the jacket. That's just classic video. Oh my goodness, classic video. Let me tell you. As soon as I saw this video, that's immediately what came directly, into my mind. Classic video. But yeah, this person should not. It's crazy that the default mode that the person. I really feel like it was something else that this person wanted to say. But they were like, "Oh, you sound like a Trump supporter. You sound like a Trump supporter." And then once the woman said no, then it was like, "Oh, you sound like MAGA. You sound." That's the same thing. Like, are you stupid? I'm like, these are literally your people. How do you like? What do we do now? We're separating it. You got it's a difference between being a Trump supporter and being MAGA. It's the same thing. Am I crazy? Have I lost my mind here? Yeah, it's crazy. That's uh, oh man, man. There's a lot of things I want. There's a lot of things I want to say. Let me tell you. Oh man. Shout out to America though. Shout out to America. This is America. Let me tell you that. Let me tell you, this is America. Mm, mm, mm. That is crazy. Mm, 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 mm. Diabolical work though. Diabolical work. But last but not least, let me go to this video here. Let this brother explain some words. Explain some things.
The black men in this era, in this generation, I can say I never touched a white woman, never had sex with a white woman, never got head from a white woman, nada. And I say that proudly. I say that with my chin up high. Because once you know who you are as a black man, once you know and you understand the history of what these people did to you, you start to look at things from a whole different perspective. You see what I'm saying? So I say this proudly. And most of the people joining in on the conversation of interracial dating can't get past the physical attraction. They're just looking at physical attraction. Nah, bro. What about emotional support? What about mental support? What about spiritual support? The spiritual connection. Outside of physical attraction, outside of the physical pleasure, what could a white woman do for me? A white woman doesn't understand my struggles as a black man. The only woman that can understand my struggles as a black man is the woman that's a reflection of me, and that's the black woman. I can't come home after a long day of being a black man in this world and come pillow talk to a white woman about my struggles. She ain't gonna feel that shit. The black woman's the only one that's gonna feel that. You see what I'm saying? She's the only one that's gonna feel that. And I never came on here saying that white women are ugly or no other woman outside of black women are attractive. I never said that. All I did was hype up my own woman. I hyped up the black woman because society ain't gonna do it. You see what I'm saying? The government not gonna do it. You know what I mean? So someone gotta do it. That's all I did. But me hyping up black women is not to put any other woman down. No, I believe regardless of race, all women are beautiful. All women, white, Asian, whatever, all beautiful. But
hold on, let me just pause it right there. You know the craziest thing is and this is a young brother saying this. The craziest part, and I've seen this before, even on my own channel. Whenever it is, it comes to a point. Like I said, everybody can love whatever it is that they want to love. No problem. They can be outspoken directly about it. Put it, up there. People got pages directly for white women. Other people got pages up there specifically dedicated to white men and everything like that, right? People can be outspoken and love who it is that they want to love, no problem. The moment in time, if you are a black man and you sit up there and state that you love black women or you want to show appreciation and all this other type of stuff, magically you'll have people pulling up to the scene having a problem. Magically, you have to specify that, oh, I find every other woman out here is beautiful, but this is the woman right here that I love. Right? You have to, in a sense, literally put that space there so that other people don't feel slighted, which is the craziest thing. And it's crazy. And I've noticed that more and more whenever it is that I see black men online and they're stating how much it is that they love black women. There always has to be a space like, yo, I love black women, but I want to make people understand that all women out here are beautiful. Right? All women are beautiful. It's crazy that we got to sit up there and do that. No other group of men have to do that. If Italian men say that they strictly love Italian women because of their mothers, because of their grandmothers, it is what it is. No other women out there are going to sit up there and say like, oh, but what about Asian women? Don't you find them beautiful? Don't you love them too? Aren't they Nobody else does that. When you are a black man and you literally sit up there and make this statement, people come to you as if you're a villain, but like, oh, why do you only have to wish black women a happy Mother's Day, or oh, why do you only have to give love to just the black mothers out here? And there's more than just black mothers. Mothers are mothers. Mothers is not specifically a color. And why do you only have to love one certain type of women? For me, I don't see color. All women are beautiful. I'm like, dog, what is y'all problem? What is y'all problem? And again, I showcased that to y'all directly on this platform before, that I had people rolling up, and these were Karens rolling up to the scene trying to let me know that they, in a sense, feel slighted, and all women need to be covered with the exact same love and acknowledgement and respect and yada yada yada. I'm like, y'all smoking rocks. I don't know what type of new drug. Maybe y'all on that crocodile from Africa. I don't know what it might be, but y'all need to stop that. Y'all need to quit it. 100%. But let me let the brother continue.
Outside of the physical pleasures, no other woman outside of the black woman could understand my pain, could feel my pain, could understand my struggle, could support me mentally, emotionally, spiritually. The white woman could give me sex. The white woman could give me some head. But outside of that, what could she do for me? You see what I'm saying? What could she do for me? If I get into a relationship with a white woman and I bring a child into the world with her, that is unfair to that child, because that child now has to grow up as biracial or mixed race. And based off my own, I have connections with mixed race people, and I had these conversations with them. What was it like growing up as a mixed race person? Man, I don't know if I'm white. I don't know if I'm black. I feel like I'm kind of in the middle, because white society doesn't accept me, but my own people don't accept me, this, that, this. Bro, this is real. This is real. And most people who join in on this conversation, I don't even, go back and forth with them because of what I said. Most of them can't get past the physical attraction. They're only talking about, oh, they're women. Oh, they're attractive. Oh, they make my dick hard. They make me aroused. But after she makes your dick hard, after you have the sex, after that, what can she do for you? What can she do for you? What could a white woman do for me? You see what I'm saying? Only the black woman understands me. And that's why God designed the black woman to be a reflection of me, because that's the woman who's for me. I don't support interracial dating. No, not at all. Not at all. It's not because I'm racist. Well, not racist, but it's not because I'm a bigot, right? It's not because of that. It's just because there's so many things that go into it that people refuse to acknowledge. And instead of acknowledging it, they continue to go back to the physical pleasures. I'm not looking at the physical pleasures. I'm looking at everything else that comes with it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I said, the dude is he is completely factual. And like I said, mine is people's preferences to even though this is basically about a preference. But I'm just trying to put a perspective on it. It's cool. You got, specifically dealing with the black community, you got some out there. You got black women that want to deal with white men. You got black dudes that want to deal with white women. Cool, no problem. That's all great. But as a young man stated, at the end of the day, how would it be that those people can specifically understand what it is that you go through and have to face in everyday life? They can't. Like they can't at all. They can't sit up there and help you like understand. They can sit up there and say like, I see it, but they really can't see it. They can say that they acknowledge it, but how can you acknowledge something that you don't understand and haven't realistically, been through? Or how could you help that significant other face that in everyday life? They can't. They can try to console you and everything, but that's just because of the outwardly appearance that they can see that you're under some type of stress and and different things of that nature. They can't really give you base level emotions, a type of like understanding, a type of like, they can't like really bond with you on that. Now, of course, you got some white people out here be like, oh, I done sat up there and been through racism, but well, okay, sure you have. Like, okay. I'm like, okay, okay, so you say, whatever. So you say. But as this young dude said, like after you basically, do whatever it is that you do, what more, can that person do for you? What more can they actually do? Because at a certain point in time, it's going to get to a point where people are going to be like, yo, I'm actually, in a sense, by myself. Because you are going to be by yourself in a sense. You'll be in that relationship with that person. But because of your experiences and your life experiences, everything on top of that, your innocence is going to be alone in a lot of different situations. And then you're going to try to cover that or mask that by quote unquote the happiness that you get from that person. Like I said, I don't know. Got some people that'll figure it out. They will figure it out. Um Let me see. Number said you don't like fake people. Yeah. Golden Brown said if you mix a lion with a tiger, what do you get? It depends. You can get a Tigon or you can get a liger. So it depends on which one you're dealing with. Ghost said, I've been watching your content for so long, I forgot how much years it's been. I mean, you can roll back technically. I mean, but again, it's 2 channels, so it's well, the first channel you're not gonna really see all of the content from you. That was another 1,000 plus videos. What was it, like 2K videos that were there on that one, and then it should be 2K on the second channel, right? But because of the way I did videos, I actually shortened the amount of videos that I would initially have because I tried to go for longer content instead of just putting stuff up and just like snippets, like even if it was just like 4 to 5 minutes and just doing it that way. Because a lot of videos I got longer form. So I added a multitude of clips into like literally one. So technically I would actually have thousands upon thousands of videos, but opted not to do it because that is more work. It is more work. 808 said there's nothing wrong with interracial dating. It's just different values that is more difficult when it comes into raising kids. Well, see, if I go back to your comment there, 808, you said that you're from the UK, correct? Yeah, you say you're from like South London. So for y'all, interracial dating is like a religion. Like that's just every day. Um it's a whatever. It's like what's for dinner. In the United States, that is not the case. And that's because we got a history. UK history is different from the United States history. So for you, you can in a sense state that it's no, sweat off your back or whatnot or whatever, because again, your history is vastly different. Um, if you actually know of and understand the, United States and the history, you would know why interracial dating is not the same as it would be in the United Kingdom. Trill said, "Oh, he's from London. I'm playing Watch Dogs Legion right now." This man right here. Golden said, which is a new species. It's not a lion or a tiger. It's a new species. Yeah. Radio said, so could that really, boy, could that be really why their birth rates are low? Interesting things that make you go, I mean, yeah, that could essentially be a reason why birth rates are in a sense low because you got the interracial dating directly out there. And somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I've heard that it's a lot more difficult for people to have certain babies. Like people got to take certain types of medications and everything just to actually, fully carry the child and have the necessary nutrition that they need in order to be healthy. Well, like I said, just listening to other women. What was it? I'm here said hybrid. The mom's DNA does matter. I know people say it doesn't, but that's not true. You can't be mixed without a mom. There's only two genders. I'm confused. I mean, I get what you're saying on that, but the last one kind of, threw me for a loop in a sense. Kind of. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Trying to wave. What was the other thing I was going to sit there and mention as well? My bad. I was responding to a message. Radio said, when you know your history and where you come from, you won't fall for anything and everything. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. And that's why I keep trying to tell people, like, hey, if people are from the UK and y'all do whatever, it's cool. That's, like I said, that's y'all science. That's what y'all do. Right. Because we have in the United States for Black Americans, we tend to know certain things and we know how opponents work. That's why we move differently. Because we were not, and we haven't really been in the mind frame of that everything is all equal and even, because again, it's not. And one woman was indeed honest about why it is that those women specifically go after and target and mate with Black men, and that was for the DNA, that was for the genetics, that was for survivability, and that was it. No fans or buts, no frills directly to it, just clean cut, directly straight to the point. And that is just what it is. But a lot of people don't want to look at it like that. Like I said, you got so many biracial players directly in the NFL, in the NBA, and so on and so on and so on. Like I said, so you have a whole nother group of people directly here, and all the ruling class has to do is let them feel that they're a little bit better in a slight way and give them a little bit more than something, and they got something to stabilize the structure just for a little bit longer. Again. But you can't tell people nothing because people don't want to hear it, people don't want to listen. A lot of people want to happen to think that, just love is love, and there are no ulterior motives that were put in place 100 years before any of us existed. This is the point of me going back to the live stream I did with y'all probably about 5 or plus days ago, almost like a week ago. And I showcased the fact of the quote unquote slave bloodlines that they had, how it is that they would take, a slave, and they would basically mix, and they would tell you what that would specifically give through each and every mixture. And through certain mixtures, you could go directly from having a child that is quote unquote biracial by way of an interracial couple, and further dilute that blood to the point where it'll end up right back to where it came from. So if it started off as a biracial child where you got one white pair with a black pair, dilute, and then you get to the point where you end up right back at white. So, it'd be like that. It be like that. Rabbit said, I remember reading a study years ago. High stress affects men and their sperm count, and white men globally are stressed out by non-white success, hence their low birth rates. Number X said, yep. When an examine other Black people's culture around the world, most of them don't know their own history. Bangani said, that brother is right. It just makes existence in an already intolerant society that much worse. Bars. Sham said, I'm okay for it, but I feel both sides need to understand that family plays a big part. Having kids and one side of the family is racist isn't good for yourself. Yeah. I think, matter of fact, going back to the previous comment, what was that Ghost had made? I think I had I'm trying to remember because I talked to a lot of y'all. I want to say it should have been Ghost that was explaining to me about about the family, directly out there and everything. And that pretty much fits into what it is that Sham just stated, where, people in the family gotta, make sure everything is on the up and up, and, kids in a sense being taught the right way, and so on and so on. Radio said they were canceling shows when a brown person with a pale person even kissed, but now they're pushing interracial. Yeah, like if people look back at the original Star Trek, that was like the really like the first kiss. That was the kiss that people just really was like, yo, I can't believe that just happened. They actually did that on TV. Go back to Star Trek and you look at I think it was what was her name? Lieutenant Aurora. And her and Kirk kissed on that show. I think it got taken out and then they put it back in. I forgot what specifically happened, but that was quote unquote the kiss that was heard around the world. Because again, Star Trek was a popular show, and she was the only black person, the first black person that was on Star Trek, right? And now you look from the 60s all the way to now, and you just see that's just normal in the United States. Even though, like, when you think about interracial dating, that's not even covering the whole of the United States. But the way that they show it in every single time is car commercials. Every single time is dinner commercials. Every single time it's dating. Every single time it's dealing with kids and family, or it's dealing with somebody getting married. They're always making sure to push and showcase interracial. And this is something that I talked about a long time ago, where if you pay close attention to the commercials, they will show, let's say, like a black woman, they'll show her having kids, getting married, growing old, home ownership and everything, right? If she's with a white man. And then in reverse, you'll see the black guy. He's, chipper. He's happy. He has the great cardigan sweater. He has the penny loafers on. He got the polo, and they're driving a nice car. Dude got the pearly whites and everything, and him and his white wife or girlfriend, everything is all good, and they got the mixed kids, directly in the background. But the one thing that you will barely see is them promoting a black man and a black woman being in a household, being married with kids, and them being happy. Notice that. And this goes back to what it is, as somebody stated earlier, 808 from the UK. Again, we got literally propaganda in the United States to try to make sure that black men and black women are not together in a relationship. We got propaganda out here to make sure that young black men and young black women are not into a relationship. We got propaganda out here where you got young black girls and black boys out here going back and forth as if they've been on this planet for 30 years, arguing back and forth about this and that and all this other type of stuff. Like I said, it's crazy work. It's crazy work, but a lot of people don't understand it because it's not something that they see, or they're already so conditioned that they don't see a problem with it. You said Kirk always getting a girl. Aurora, yep. Shem said, I think if the family is good on both sides, then it's fine. But both sides work together. Well, you can get pretty well-rounded mixed kids. Both sides showing support helps through the hardships, right? Rabbit said the same people getting triggered over Star Trek are the same people saying that was normal when it was legal for white men to go after black women, right? Sam said China doesn't have a choice but to go interracial after all of these years. Them getting rid of the population of females biologically is better to mix cultures and whatnot, scientifically proven. Radio said, yep, or it's just a homosexual brother or sister, never two straight brothers or sisters. Yeah, they'll also have those as well too. RY said these are the facts. Yeah, I said. Someone said earlier that they thought it was an agenda. It is now, but during the 1600s, when color was construct, them folks were choosing us then too. They made laws and rulings to stop mixing then. And that's true. Radio said genocide agenda. Say it again. The Money said even the prep commercials have interracial gay couple. Yeah, that's the craziest part too. Even in the commercials when it deals with the gay community, they'll have black men with white men. I'm like, so you mean it? So in that community, there's no black gay men directly out there. And like I said, this is not me trying to push anything directly upon people or whatnot or whatever. I'm just sitting up and saying, I'm like, that's crazy. I'm like, it's the same thing in reverse where it's like a black woman. It's like the Raven Simone, right? Raven Simone got a white. Is that her wife or her girlfriend? It's either which or. And I'm like, how does that work out? And again, this is going back to something that I covered before on the channel, where I came across information dealing with black women and them talking about interracial relationships and how it is that they get treated, and how those women also act as well too. And even within amongst black women, from that conversation that was open for anybody to see, they were sitting up there saying that it's crazy how you have black female lesbians specifically looking for white partners. And but mind you, whenever people talk about interracial, the poster child is always who? They always demonize and they always talk about black men. Black men are always the poster child, always the poster child, always the poster child. But yet in both instances, you also have black women, both gay or straight, looking for a significant other that is non-black. But it's like it doesn't really get put out there or highlighted. And the main thing I keep telling people before is that there are more women on the planet than there are men. So if realistically we were to, in a sense, look at our population, look at it that way, you would in a sense think that wouldn't there also be more women, black women there than there would be men? So how many of those women are actually, in a relationship with who or not or whatever, right? Versus how many, in a sense, men are doing whatnot or whatever. And then if you further break that down, that would then you would come and look at a certain thing, but like, well, maybe black men are in a sense getting over represented when it deals with this, even though they are not the main majority of the population. Like I said, I don't know. Like I said, I'm just racking my brain, just going through stuff. That's just me. Not saying anything is factual, just racking my brain on some stuff. Yeah, I said nothing comes from two the same sex linking, so I'll push interracial. We must be more desirable. They say I still don't believe we should refrain. I mean, I think I get what you're saying, right? But like I said before, to each their own. Whatever people want to sit up there and do is whatever people want to do. But it also goes back to the other video that I said before, what I put up here before, where the elder was talking about the feminist movement and how they did their thing to separate black men from black women. And then they further did that with the gay community, right? And all that other type of good stuff. So, like I said, it's an attack on all fronts, all over the place. Attack all over the place. Radio said they do that because the two so-called black men were getting kids and being two dads. So I guess that was becoming an issue too. Yeah. That, you know what? I never thought about that. I never thought about the whole thing of the kids having two black dads, and then those two fathers basically raising the child. I didn't think about that. Huh? I would actually. That's a very, very interesting point. Because going back to because what radio was talking about is going back to something that I mentioned before, where I had stated that the main story that they put out into the media that black men are not present. But then the CDC came out and told people, like, hey, well, actually, to correct everybody, black men are more present in and around their child's lives than anybody else. So then that's almost, maybe double whammy is not the word I want to use, but it's the closest thing I can think of right now. But that's in a sense a double whammy, because in one instance, right, you got a black man raising a child. And then to add on top of that, you literally got 2 black men raising a child and being a father directly to that child. Like I said, it's crazy. It's like when you actually technically think about some of the stuff, it's like, wow. It's like, it's crazy. But yep, that was it. That was basically it there, guys. That was technically it. I think I'm probably gonna go get me some coffee or something at this moment to figure out something. Cause I think usually I had coffee last time I put together the video. I think I was supposed to do a live stream, which was yesterday. So yeah, I might need to get some coffee, or I might go try to figure out something to eat. I'm not sure. And then potentially going back to No Life and some Monster Hunter. I did say that I was going to live stream Monster Hunter. I just want to state I do plan on doing it. I just been like No Life and the thing and just going through the story and just been going through a lot of these fights. Shout out to anybody out there that's actually playing Monster Hunter who has a game system and everything like that. Shout out to y'all. And I think I actually had a full whatever hours of sleep, I think. But I feel tired. Relevant Love said this was fun. Can't get my words right. That's how I know I'm tired. He said this is fun / informative. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Simon said, is this just audio or has my screen froze? No. I'm talking on the live. So this is a live stream, but I'm talking, at the moment. So that's pretty much why it is. Normally, what I would do is that I would just have the screen, in a sense, like that. But I forgot to actually do that. So yeah, I got to make sure to have a different picture directly up there. Sham said also the marriage statistics for Black women is also skewed. Black men and women marry more in their later years than earlier years, where white people marry more. Yeah, it's the it's the whole reverse. Black people are usually trying to figure out some things, trying to get themselves situated in life, a house, home, car, careers, all of those great things. So, marriage and stuff is going to happen a little bit later. White people are like, all right, we're getting married in high school. Better yet, we're getting married in middle school, right? They'll tend to do stuff like that, but then they will have a field of divorces that are going to happen earlier on, but they don't want to talk about those stats or really look at those stats. But the divorce rates, yeah, those are bad. And then the other thing that they don't happen to talk about when it is white people is that a lot of them are still married, but they're separate. So it's like realistically, technically they are divorced in reality, but on paper they're still together. They're just living in separate homes. And they're just like, well, we can just do whatever. I just don't want to pay for a divorce. So they'll, do stuff like that. Insanity and America's Doom. Sham said, when you think on it, it makes sense because humans finish developing around 25 or later. Marriage age makes more sense. Black people actually get married at higher rates and stay together more. Right. Pink said, hit the like button. That is bars. Since she, I see you on that Diablo nonstop. Like the same way I'm basically on Monster Hunter, at this moment in time in these Monster Hunter streets, with my lance. What do I normally use? I got the lance and the shield, and then I also have the hunting horn and the katana. I used to use the insect glaive. I might try to get back into that, but I'm not sure. The dual blades are actually pretty dope. Those are not bad. It's pretty nifty, little weapon. Radio said, good old Christian values for you. Yeah, that's true. Talking about that marriage, yeah. It's crazy work out here. Crazy work. But yeah, game stream will be happening. I just gotta set it up a little bit differently. It might just be on a secondary channel, because if I feed it through StreamYard, I'm not sure if the audio will show up. I think that was a problem that we had before. where the audio was not specifically working, and then I had to, do it a different way. But then on top of that, I'm not sure if I could. I would have to turn off the music maybe, and then it would just be the sound effects of the game of like walking around. Like I said, I have to figure out some stuff because I'm not trying to play some music from Capcom and then they'd be like, all right, we're gonna, copyright this stream because of the music. I would be pissed. I'd be 100% pissed. But yeah, much love, respect, and appreciation to any and everybody that were currently here during the live stream. Much respect and appreciation from both sides of the channel. So on the original channel, we got 17 people currently watching, and on the secondary channel, we got 38 people as well. As I've always stated, much love, respect, value you guys a lot. Thank you guys for being here and always being here, no matter what the number is. It's always a fun engagement directly with you guys as well. You could be anywhere else in the world on YouTube, but you decided to be here during this live stream. And I'll make sure to bring you guys some more live streams when I don't feel tired like I do right now. I'm just up and directly, full of energy. So again, much love, respect, and appreciation. And I will catch you guys on the next live stream. Peace out.